It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All righty, back at it. Just a 3-day tease, wasn't it? Back to the grind. Happy to have you along for the ride. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman here. Matty Ice to my right. The loose cannon on the button. Good to see you, fellas.
It's great to see you, my man. Great to see you. Hope you had a nice long weekend, a relaxing weekend, because we're about to get after it the rest of the week. But, yeah, life is good, man. Cannot complain. Very good weekend. And now I'm here with my boys again and our wonderful listeners. So let's start cooking, man. How you doing?
One more little studio deal, and then they spring us loose. Tag and release us into the wild.
Taking us out
there at Muirfield Village, and we will dodge the raindrops and have a good time. We'll be positioned at the halfway house, and we'll see Jack and all the great golfers out there and all the sights and sounds and smells.
We got spoiled at the halfway house last year. I mean, the setup was incredible. We had our own security. Had some great police officers protecting us. There was a straggler or two that maybe approached the set. We had that going on. But then we had really the key to all of it was our own personal chef, essentially, in-house at the halfway house, chefing up whatever we needed, the drinks, the snacks. It was all there. So hopefully that is in play tomorrow. I know when I'm with you at Muirfield, everything is in play. So life's going to be good tomorrow, man. I can't wait to get out there. And hopefully Mother Nature will chill on us and the rain will fade away and we can get the week started in a nice way.
Yeah, I don't mind broadcasting in the rain, just playing in it.
I feel you.
We're not playing, so let those guys worry about it.
No doubt.
We'll be covered. Little private halfway house bathroom if needed.
Yep.
We'll be sharing that with the golfers coming through. So don't make it a full pit stop. Make it a splash and go, as I like to say.
We didn't have a ton of celebrity/former athletes that came through the halfway house. Peyton did.
He did.
Other than that, though, we had a couple golfers, I believe, but the Rob Lowe's of the world, the Andre Iguodala's, the Chris Pratts, they kind of kept it pushing.
You know why? Because I don't think they played more than 9.
Okay.
I think it was a tag team.
Gotcha.
Somebody else is in for the back.
Now you go.
I don't think they went the full 18. We'll try to get some tee times and things if we can uncover those today as far as celebs and the Pro-Am to try to give people a little idea of what they could see tomorrow. And then, of course, the honoree ceremony with Barbara Nicklaus being honored and 50th playing and all that stuff. So it should be outstanding. We've got a nice show for you today. We will move up our boy Schefter today to 12:30. So we'll get him on the air today, and then tomorrow it's all Muirfield all the time. Did you guys happen to see, there was one story that surfaced over the weekend, and we've been kind of following this just wonderful journey between two lovers.
Oh, no.
And it really is a made-for-TV event. This has got Hallmark written all over it at one point, don't you think, Maddie?
I do like the Hallmark Christmas movie season.
Well,
isn't that year-round?
Don't you think this should be one?
I don't know.
So, you know Pablo Torre.
I do. He's been all over the case.
So did you guys happen to catch this video that was put out of a bare-chested Belichick leaving an Airbnb or her place or something that they rented back together in 2023?
No, I don't think my eyes want to see Bill Belichick shirtless.
Oh,
it was ugly.
The guy he just kind of stumbled out.
Edelman was beating him up for it at the roast of Tom Brady.
Well, the video dropped, though. Was he talking about the video at the roast of Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember that
He
part.
had some joke. It was way better than what I'm about to say right now, but something along the lines of like, my favorite ring Belichick has is the ring camera that caught him slinking out of that girl's house.
Okay, that's interesting because we hadn't seen the video until now. So as part of the report, he ran an interview with the owners of the unit, Torre did, who didn't exactly have a lot of nice words to say about her.
The Airbnb unit.
That's right.
Okay, I got you.
And then minutes after the video was posted, she went to her Instagram page to take a blowtorch to the reporting, just absolutely flamethrow it. Pablo Torre's findings have been nothing short of factually incorrect, slanderous, defamatory, and targeted. Can y'all please stop giving credibility to this reporter? She added a screen grab of a text message conversation that appeared to be one with one of the owners of the Airbnb she and Bill had stayed at. See, honestly, I don't even know what his reporting is. I'm just looking at the video. Was he going to the beach? Was he leaving? I don't really know.
He was picking up a DoorDash order outside.
No, he left.
He left the grounds.
I think so. It's weird. How do you feel about Airbnb owners publicly distributing security footage about the tenants that stay there?
Seems a little out of bounds.
So they were paid, I assume, for this video.
No doubt.
They had to.
Nice little check. From Pablo Torre or TMZ? Because TMZ will cut a nice check from what I've heard.
That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, for whatever reason, Pablo Torre has really been in his Woody Harrelson True Detective Season 1 bag with this whole Bill Belichick story. Does he have beef? Has he had beef?
No, I think
Bill
it's the
Belichick?
name of his show.
But he's been
PTFO, Pablo Torre Finds Out.
But he's been all over this thing. I don't know. It's odd.
There's one story you want to dispatch him and assign him to. It's this one.
Okay.
So it says the former ESPN talent has taken a deep dive into Hudson and Belichick's romance multiple times this month on his YouTube show, and most of his work has painted an unfavorable picture of the 24-year-old. Torrey reported that one about the family being concerned about Hudson, about the relationship due to the role that she's taken in his life. Also stated she once tried to force her way into a commercial that he was starring in. Remember the two of them were in the Dunkin' Donuts one?
Mm-hmm.
He added that UNC officials, he's the one that reported they barred her from the football facilities, and they said, no, we haven't. But my feeling is that when that went public, they walked it back. And then in the latest one, the ring video, doorbell video is out.
Ringtones aren't a thing anymore, are they? They were a hit when I was in high school.
Them.
Like the customized ones. I remember.
Pay for them like $1 or $2.
You could pay, but I used to be able to record stuff and then turn that in to a ringtone. That was a vibe. But I don't think anybody anymore has custom ringtones. I think you just, whatever you have with your iPhone or whatever phone you have, you just roll with that. But yeah, early 2000s, mid 2000s,
good TV theme.
Oh, listen, whatever song was hot at the time. Yeah, you got to have a nice little ringtone.
Yeah, I don't know. We must have lost the feel for it.
Nobody cares anymore.
Everything that was the newest thing, and now it's gone.
Right.
I think a couple people I know still have a ringtone.
Like that's not your just default ringtone, but it's like
I just have a default one.
Okay, my phone is never not on silent. It's always on silent.
Smart move.
Yeah,
that way,
off the
even
grid.
when you can answer it, you don't really have to. I like that call. All right, so we got a lot to do today. We'll get into, like I said, Schefter will come in bottom of the hour, and we'll get into the latest with Aaron Rodgers. And this is interesting because when we get to this, and we'll get to it next, it's interesting to me, Maddie, that he's been big on saying that he's got bigger things to focus on than football, but it hasn't stopped him from dropping more hints. You'd think if he was totally, hey, this is just in the back of my mind, I've got nothing to say about football right now, I've got personal family stuff I'm dealing with, which he has said, yet he seems fairly relaxed about dropping hints still.
One thing that I think I know about Aaron Rodgers is that the dude likes being in the spotlight. He likes getting behind a microphone and in front of a camera and speaking his mind. And I know for a lot of people that can, it's a little annoying, but hey, it's entertaining, some of the things that he does, and it gives us content. I know the stuff that came out of the weekend is very juicy as well, which we'll get to. I wanted to run this by you because the whole flag football thing's taken off. And the quarterback of the USA national flag football team says that he believes that players deserve the opportunity to play for Team USA in 2028 in Los Angeles. But he also said it's disrespectful, or that he thinks these NFL players are coming in to their territory. I saw this idea floating around from Trevor Sikkema, who I believe covers the NFL for PFF. And he tweeted this out this weekend, and I wanted to run it by you. He said the solution is very simple. The national flag football team versus the NFL flag football team in the Coliseum on July 4th of 2027 on ESPN. Winner goes to the Olympics. That's how we decide who we send over there.
It's the way it should be. I agree with him.
No, I don't think it's the way. I think we send our NFL guys and tell these guys to shut the hell up. Nobody wants to watch these guys play. You don't want to watch these guys play.
This is the Olympics.
Yeah, but we want
not the name on the back.
We want the star players.
What it represents on the front, Matty.
From the NFL.
Get that through your head.
Playing in the flag football game. Not these guys.
No, I look at it differently. These guys are encroaching on their turf. These guys let these guys have a shot at winning the gold first before we need to break glass.
What do you think?
Emergency. We can't win flag football.
What do you think NBC is going to want?
WNBC.
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson are these guys. I get they're good.
These guys.
Okay,
this
but come on.
Dead. Then cross him off the list then.
Calling it disrespectful, stop it.
Well, listen, I didn't even know this existed. This other team that wanted to play. I really didn't know that.
They are the USA national flag football team.
Well, the second I heard the NFL wanted to do this, I looked at both you guys and said, really? Flag football? That's what these guys want to parachute into?
Your boy wants it, Justin Jefferson. That flag football thing?
Yeah, the flag that flag thing.
Oh, that flag thing. Yeah. I don't have it ready.
Boy. It's so prestigious. Got to win that thing.
I'm just saying, AR.
This flag thing that's going on.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
The flag thing
that's going on.
In 2028.
What's going on?
We need marquee names, not these guys.
I agree with you on the ratings. But I also don't know if we really...
What do we care about NBC's ratings
those
for?
Guys. I don't care. No, I understand why they would care.
That's
all I'm saying.
NBC
they
does
would
not
push it through.
They want NFL stars, not these guys.
All it takes is like 10 NFL guys to want to play, and you have an NFL. They don't have to be good players.
What, are the NFL guys afraid to play the...
No, I don't even know if this is going to happen. I just thought Trevor Sikkema's idea was pretty interesting.
Also,
yeah.
If one guy from each team gets to play, isn't that too many?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of reserves.
I don't get it. I don't know how it works. Well, Schefter's coming on at 12:30. I don't think he knows at this point.
Yeah, we're 3 years away from knowing.
All right, we'll get back to Rodgers next. And I'll tell you this. We do know one thing. We know one team he would never play for. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
The Fan is headed to the Memorial. Are you ready for 30 hours of live coverage? Oh, it's true, baby.
Sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. TheWaterworks.com.
The best Memorial coverage, The Fan.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
As this school year comes to a close, please join me in thanking the dedicated teachers and education support professionals who have poured their hearts into their students every day this year to give them what they need to succeed. We have to turn our appreciation into action. Contact your lawmakers today and tell them to support our public schools.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hopefully you did not forget the umbrella today because we have rain returning to our forecast, and it will be a cooler day with our temperatures struggling to get into the low 60s. As we go into tonight, chances of showers linger with overnight lows in the 50s, and then for Wednesday, rain chances continue in the morning. Could see some isolated thunderstorms in the next day, and temperatures on Wednesday getting into the upper 60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right. Aaron Rodgers still in the news. Boy, he played a lot of years for Green Bay. What, about 17 or so? I know it's a big deal on whether you'll retire as that guy, as that member of that team. And Rodgers has said basically, I'll retire a Packer if they approach me about it.
So they've got to come bend the knee.
I probably would.
So it's on brand for him.
So he's right about one thing. Does it really matter? You're going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Does it matter if you're going in as a Packer? What does that even mean?
I think that's the team, obviously, he's most recognized for playing.
So he'll be in the Packers Hall of Fame.
I think that's appropriate. He can't go in as a Jet or whatever team he's going to play for this year if he does play. I think time will heal a lot of that. I think they'll figure it out. He'll sign the one-day contract like a lot of players do, and he'll retire as a Packer and go in as such as well. I think that's the only way this thing should go.
Yeah, I think all the emotion of it, once that ends, people can kind of reflect on what he meant to the organization.
No
Maybe
doubt.
some people will, hold ill will towards him and whatever. And I'm not asking them to turn around on that either. They don't have to. They don't want to. But no one's denying he's a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. And he has talked about coming back, but that he'll play for the money. The money is not important, and that if he wants to play football, he's not going to do it for the money. Well, what event was this? Do you guys know what little outdoor?
He was on the You Never Know podcast, I believe. I don't know where the location was. It looked like it was
Austin, Texas.
It was down in Austin, Texas on the You Never Know podcast, and was fielding questions from some listeners and viewers that were in the stands.
All right, so we'll listen to the one that really is the big one first, which is that he just made it, much more likely that he will finally face the Packers, and that he didn't say exactly who he was playing for, but he talked about the schedule. It made more sense.
Will Aaron Rodgers Rodgers ever go to the Bears?
Oh, boy. And security, can we get her out of here? Need some security. Security, can you take it easy on her?
No, but I believe there's a team that might play in Chicago this year. On a road trip. I don't know. I'm not sure. Gotta check it out.
Are you speaking in code?
I love Chicago, though. Way more than they love me. It's been a great relationship, all one way.
Cole, was that you in the back row, the Steelers fan saying, let's go?
I'm sure I'm on. That's me.
That's what he's talking about, right, AR? That's the squad.
Hey, 3-day weekend. I had time.
You had time to shave, too. I didn't even recognize you when you came. But what was the decision behind that?
I just got tired of looking at it.
Okay.
It'll come back slowly, gradually.
Yeah.
I'll be able to make peace with it. So the beard will come back.
Babyface assassin we got over there.
But I had a whole lot going on. I was shaving in Austin. Okay. I was cheering on Aaron Rodgers.
There you go. There you go.
By the way, weekend. Why did she ask that question? Will Aaron Rodgers ever go to Chicago and be a Bear? He's right. You're talking to him. Just say, hey, will you be a Chicago Bear?
I don't think she was like a 30-year-old woman. It was just a little girl. Maybe she's a Bear fan.
Whatever.
No room for that.
Man.
Let's get her a journalism degree right now. So I'm looking at their schedule.
Mm-hmm. What do you see?
So he said a road trip.
Yep.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
In Chicago.
Little roadie.
So let's do the Bears home, or let's do the Bears home games this year. And that would be Minnesota, no. Dallas, no. Saints. Let's just hold that for a second. Just hold it because we have a rebuttal. Giants, no. Pittsburgh.
Oh, ding, 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 ding.
Thanksgiving weekend, I think.
We found our winner.
Cleveland home, no.
Heck
Packers home, no. Detroit home, no. That's it. So let's do this. Yeah. Let's eliminate one team in week 7 right now.
3, 2, and 1.
Would you ever consider playing for the Saints and making us great again? Because I don't know.
No.
That's the answer.
That's the answer.
Yeah, I guess
it's no. No, I've played there a couple times, but no. The answer is no. I'm too old. I don't want to live in Louisiana. Sorry.
What does that mean?
I'm too old. I don't want to live in Louisiana.
Nobody's putting you there to live the rest of your life. It's a football season. You're going to be traveling around.
Yeah,
that was so weird that he would say that.
He flew
I don't want to live in Louisiana.
He flew off the top rope, dumped on Louisiana. We were just down there. Fine city, fine state, a lot to do, a lot of good food there as well. New Orleans would make no sense to me with where he is in his career and where it seems like the Saints are headed. Very young quarterback room. They bring in Tyler Shuck from Louisville. You've got Spencer Rattler down there. They're trying to figure that out. Plus, I don't think Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career would want to play for a rookie head coach either, and Kellen Moore. So I don't foresee that happening. That would absolutely shock me. The first clip that we played is, I think, the breadcrumbs we need to follow. And another breadcrumb that we need to follow in this whole Aaron Rodgers Steelers connection. The big one for me was him working out with DK Metcalf, I think maybe even a couple months ago now, and him and those guys getting on the same page football-wise and him getting a feel of what it would be like to play with DK Metcalf down there in Pittsburgh. So I think it'll happen. And, he is always going to throw a little shade towards the Chicago Bears because he had that one touchdown where he was heard on a hot mic saying, I bleep and own you, which was awesome stuff there. And he does, because I went and looked. The dude has a regular season record of 24-5 versus the Bears and 64 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. So clearly he loves playing there. I think I'm at a point now where and I've been there for a while, to where I would be surprised if we don't find out that he wants to be a Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers started their OTAs today, as a lot of teams did around the NFL, so we shall see. He's not there today, but I think that's where it's headed.
No, this would be to sign before mandatory minicamp, right, in June.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would be it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's going to buy more time. He doesn't want to work that hard.
I don't blame him. He doesn't need
people
to.
I can't believe it. It's May 27th. Where is he? Have you watched this dude? He's on a permanent vacation. But that did sound to me like a guy who wants to play football. Mm-hmm. It didn't sound like a guy who has family priorities right now that he wanted to say again that, hey, I can't think about football right now. Or he's just into the big T's. Like you said, that he loves people talking about him and where he could go and who he could help. But that makes sense to me. The New Orleans thing, whatever. He just kind of wanted to rip him a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know why he doesn't like it. I'm okay if he didn't want to move there and permanently live there. But your answer to why the Saints don't make sense should have been his answer. Everything you said was perfect. I would have fed that right to him. Just doesn't make sense right now. Rookie head coach. Like, that would have made sense. But instead, he had to kind of jab him a little.
Well, I think he kind of did mean that because I didn't realize this until Ice just laid all that out. Aaron Rodgers is too old for a rebuild. That might be what he means.
He said, I don't want to live in Louisiana. Not that I'm too old for the Saints.
That as well. I don't know. It's hot down there, and old people like hot weather, so that, you would think it would align. But the only thing that I can think of is that he's too old for a rebuild, and he's really only looking to play probably one more year.
That's why that should have been his answer. But he had the perfect answer for it.
Well, we got to do this again next offseason, Rothman.
But this is Aaron Rodgers that we're talking about. This is Aaron, so he's always going to have those kind of answers. Some fun games on the schedule for him if he does sign with the Steelers. Week 1 is the Jets, and they do play the entire NFC North.
Oh, so, Rodgers versus Fields.
Yeah, Rodgers, Fields, that'll be fun. And then the whole division he used to play in. So I'm here for it. It'd be fun for us to talk about it.
If he gets to play, that sneaky game that I love this year for them, for Pittsburgh, is Green Bay at home, October 26th.
Sunday Night Football.
Yep. Off 10 days rest after being at Cincinnati.
Be awesome.
Guys, if you're feeling too old, don't sweat it. Low T Center's the place for you. Don't waste time and more money with low-quality online TRT that charges you more than $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts today at Low T Center for a free consultation and free test. The treatment is personalized to your body. They will accept most major insurance. They'll verify that for you. You will have the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. You'll be in control of your health. And more importantly, you'll start feeling better. But go there. Get the test. Find out where you land on the scale. Find out if this is what's going on with you and your body. Also, while you're there, if you're looking to lose weight, you get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. It's one-stop shopping for us guys to feel better. The offer's limited, so book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Get after it, starting now. When we come back in 2 minutes, our guy Adam Schefter, senior NFL insider. And if Rodgers just keeps stringing Pittsburgh along, do they have a plan B? And this quarterback may be that guy. You'll find out next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, when I get the thumbs up from TLC, we'll put the Scheftinator on for us. I will pay off on that tease because you stuck around for those 2 minutes. I appreciate that. They're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. So Jeremy Fowler of ESPN on the Saturday morning edition of SportsCenter reported that another quarterback is at least on Pittsburgh's radar.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had some conversations with people this week that led him to believe that Kirk Cousins is at the very least on the Steelers' radar, that if something falls through with Rodgers. Now, here's how they could make that happen. Cousins has almost $38 million in guarantees between this year and next year. So somebody's on the hook for that money. Somebody got to pay that bill, Matty, that invoice.
No doubt.
We're going to send Rocco and his friend help the judge find his checkbook. So whether it's Atlanta or someone else. So to facilitate a trade, Atlanta would need to offset some of that cash. Oh, man, I'm all out of cash. Whether it's $4 million or $20 million, I mean, whatever it is. The feeling around the league is that Atlanta has not been willing to budge on that. We can ask Schefter. And they haven't shown a lot of interest in trading Cousins, and it would take a hefty price tag for another team to kind of wiggle that out. But here's his rest of his thing. As one source told me, if they were willing to take a small percentage, let's say $7 or $8 million of that money, a deal would be done by now. There was interest earlier in the offseason. Right now, Pittsburgh may be the only hope for Cousins, or he's stuck in Atlanta as a backup. There's no indication that Rodgers is any closer, although we got those hints. And you know, Art Rooney II gave his vague response when he was asked at the league meetings where things stand. He's like, we're going to wait a little longer, a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the old cousin Kirk?
Well, here's a bit of an update for you, AR, because while we're waiting on Schefty about 10 minutes ago tweeted this out. Falcons quarterback Kirk Cousins is not in attendance today for the team's voluntary OTA. So they're voluntary, but Kirk's not in Atlanta today.
NFL playbook. Here he is on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Schefty, back at work. Good to have you, my man. How you feeling?
How you doing, all right, guys?
Yeah, everything's good.
Oh, good.
It's good to have you early in the week. This is a nice little treat for us. All right, so you heard Rodgers in Austin dropping those little hints and things, and maybe it's a team that'll have a roadie at Chicago and all that. Art Rooney II saying we'll wait a little longer. In your mind, do you have kind of like a fake deadline for the Steelers in their mindset? Like, okay, we've waited long enough. We're going to move on. Do you have that in your head?
Well, I don't think there's a deadline per se. And I think when you look at their schedule and break it down, you've got a situation where they have a mandatory minicamp, June 10th to the 12th. And so listening to Aaron Rodgers last week talk, it certainly sounded like there was nothing there that would make you think he was going to play there. He ruled out New Orleans. He did not rule out Pittsburgh. In fact, he talked about the idea of playing in Chicago this year, which is on Pittsburgh's schedule. So that tells me that, he's obviously clearly thinking about it. The Steelers have said they expect him to sign there. There's been nothing official so far. I just think it's going that way, and I think we're getting close to the time where we potentially could hear something from him because the minicamp is June 10th to the 12th. So if you're going to sign with Pittsburgh, wouldn't it make sense to do it in that window? That just makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, Schefter. We're with you on that. Let's stay with, older quarterbacks here and talk about Kirk Cousins. You tweeted out that he's not in attendance for voluntary OTAs. I mean, look, it's voluntary, so nothing to really get crazy about. But what's your understanding of, the relationship right now between Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons, and what could be next for him?
Well, obviously, I think there are issues between the two sides. You know that. He's not thrilled about being there. That's not his choice. It's not what he wants to do or where he wants to be. I think he was waiting for the playoffs or the draft to play out, and they can kind of look it over more. But there really aren't a lot of places that need him right now. And so, I think by not going today, you tell them you're not real happy about being there. And I think people know that. And I think he would be the backup plan in Pittsburgh if Aaron Rodgers decides he doesn't want to play there for whatever reason. But I do think he's going to come around there. I think that'll be in play. And the interesting part will be if Rodgers does go to Pittsburgh, what happens to Cousins? And I think he just is kind of biding his time, waiting for a certain situation to open up, and that hasn't happened just yet. So it's hard to say. But right now, I think he's the backup plan in Pittsburgh, and then wait and see elsewhere.
Schefter, you saw what college football did with the seed them as we rank them right away. Yeah. The NFL was going to presumably consider this when the Lions proposed it, but then they withdrew their playoff reseeding proposal. Explain to me why the NFL cared whether they rescinded that or not. Can't the NFL still consider it even if the Lions are withdrawing the proposal?
Well, the Lions withdrew it because there wasn't enough support for it. And so the NFL could bring it back, but the league knows, they're working with the teams on these proposals. They know when there's support for a proposal and when there's not. And there just wasn't the support for this proposal right now. So it's a situation where there was no need to pursue it and push it even further. That's sort of what happened with it. And I think that, maybe they could tweak it for next year and go a different direction.
Schefter,
nothing right now.
Okay, cool. You reported, I believe, last week or maybe the week before, Baltimore, Derrick Henry, they get a new deal done. I want to ask you about James Cook now because he's not at OTAs today. I saw some of those reports floating around. That Derrick Henry new deal and the Saquon deal that's out there, is that what James Cook is looking for? Is he looking to get into that $15, maybe $20 million a year class as one of the elite running backs in the sport?
Well, I don't know the exact number, but yes, he's looking to be paid like an elite running back, whatever that may be. That running back market has shifted and changed. And, we saw some tweets from Dalvin Cook this year during the season when James was playing well, about paying that man. I don't remember the money that he used, 15, 20, whatever it was. But clearly he's looking for a sizable raise over what he's due to make this year. And he's not there, and that looks like it could be a protracted issue, so we'll see how that plays out. But clearly James Cook not happy with his current contractual situation.
You got anybody else trying to pursue Trey Hendrickson? Any other teams? The Bengals are trying to either. I know they want him. Listen, they want him, but it seems like we're at a real offseason of turmoil right now between the two sides. Will anybody else get into this little run for Trey Hendrickson?
Well, I think it gets more and more challenging at this time of the year because most of the teams have a lot of their cap space. Teams have used picks on pass rushers. So whatever the combination is, it's not a great one for options for Trey Hendrickson. The options diminish as the offseason goes on, as teams spend their salary cap space, as they use high picks on pass rushers. They don't expand. So his best option for a trade really comes at the start of the offseason, not at the end. Doesn't mean it can happen now, but the chances of it happening now certainly are lower. And really the best option is for those sides to work things out, which they have not been able to do. So we'll see how that goes from here, but they've been struggling to find the solution for that issue.
Hey, your thoughts on this whole Olympic flag football thing and what's next here now after they approved participation? Yeah. So Team USA is going to be made up of 10 players? Is that correct?
That's the plan. And, that's currently how they're playing. Obviously never been done before. It's new for everybody, so everybody will be adjusting to this. But that's where it's at right now.
All right, so but you have no idea whether it's how they'll vote on which players are allowed to go. I know Justin Jefferson's been out there. He wants to do it, but how they'll split. And would they maybe even split it up amongst the people, the athletes who have been playing flag football their entire lives and the NFL players? Could that be the happy medium?
Yeah, again, it just was approved last week, so I think everybody's going to figure it out, and there'll be some changes and whatnot. But we know the players are going to be interested in playing. They're going to want to be out there. We'll see how that plays out moving forward. The current flag football players aren't really thrilled about giving up their turf and moving on. Like, they feel like they have earned that spot. So we'll see, but it's something I think that will sort itself out. 10 players per team, no more than one player per team. Rules like that. Justin Jefferson would seem natural. There are certain guys you could think of, like Kyler Murray, I would think would be dynamic in a setting like that. shifty, elusive guys, and we'll see how that plays out here moving forward.
Real quick, Schefter, any movement on the Micah Parsons front and the Dallas Cowboys and Parsons getting close to getting what I'm assuming is going to be a massive deal? Where are they at with that?
They've been talking, and look, we saw earlier this offseason that Myles Garrett became the highest-paid pass rusher or the highest-paid defensive player in NFL history, right? So Myles Garrett, from ages 26 to 29, the past 4 years, had 216 pressures, 286 pass rush wins. During those same 4 years, Myles Garrett, 216, 286. Micah Parsons, when he was younger, had 251 pressures, 310 pass rush wins. So he had more pressures, more pass rush wins. He's younger. And I can tell you, I'm sure he's going to want more than Myles Garrett. He's going to want to become the highest paid defensive player in NFL history.
All right, my man. Great stuff as always. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy your week, and we will be in touch next week.
You got it. Adam Schefter, Senior NFL Insider on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back. Who had the best holiday weekends? Party like a Rothstar. Coming your way. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy. America's football capital is right here in Ohio. But the greatest football players and coaches of all time live up the road in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a trip there should be on every football fan's list. Go to 971thefan.com/goldjacket and enter to win a VIP experience to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion. Relive the glory.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-THIRD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gehanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. "These windows were great." Oh boy, for about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason, my windows way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. We are an independent financial planning firm ready to help you make the right decision for yourself, your family, and your future. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Their semi-annual sale includes 4 free windows with the purchase of 4 windows, a free entry door, and no money down interest or payments until 2027. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com today.
It's almost time for the inaugural 9.71 The Race.
Sponsored by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center.
Run, walk, have a beer with Common Man. Whatever strikes your fancy. Sign up today at 971therace.com.
The peace lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Rothstar.
So much to choose from.
Lead us off, big dog.
All right, I'll go with the big cat. Did you guys see Karl Anthony Towns the other night?
He was awesome. Well, he was awesome
he had
late.
4 points in the first three quarters.
Yeah, right.
And then in the fourth, it's like 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he winds up outscoring the Pacers all by himself. Scored 20, most in a playoff quarter in his career. And the Knicks are now the first team since 1998, 27 years, to overcome 3 20-point deficits in a single postseason. And here's the other weird stat from the weekend, is the Pacers have hosted 4 playoff games on the same day as the Indy 500.
Say that again for me?
Where it's landed, where the Pacers have had a home playoff game.
While the Indy's 500 is going on.
Same day.
Okay.
Same Sunday.
Wow.
0-4.
The curse of the 500?
They're 0-4 on 500. But, you know, who was it Willie Cauley? Who are the 2 twin towers that I'm thinking of? Was it Willie Cauley and Karl Anthony? Did they
Kentucky?
Yeah.
That sounds
right. The 2 of them.
Yeah.
So when we did our player draft that year, I can't remember what year it was, I decided that I wasn't going to mess with either one of them, Maddie, and I pulled an Ingram, Alvin Kamara.
Give me
both. And I drafted them both.
BOFF.
And
give me both.
I really got what I deserved. Like one day, 17 points, I think I got 3. Yeah. I didn't know who to take. Mm-hmm. So I took them both. And I also thought that they'd get 6 games out of it, but it didn't really matter. They just didn't score enough for me. But he was a beast.
Yeah, he was,
and they certainly needed him to be that guy because the season's going to be on life support. It already was.
Yeah.
And so I'll give it to Karl Anthony Towns.
A lot of pressure on the Pacers tonight, right? Because if the Knicks, on the road, to your point, go 2-2 going back to the Garden, that could get very, very interesting. It should be a fun one over at Gainbridge Fieldhouse tonight. I am going to start in the NBA as well. The Oklahoma City Thunder had the Minnesota Timberwolves pop into their rearview mirror after winning Game 3 at home. Ant was awesome, but in Game number 4, Oklahoma City, led by the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, said, no. We're not giving you any life. We're taking this to a 3-1 series. That's exactly what they did. High-scoring fourth quarter for both teams, 41 points in the fourth quarter for Minnesota, 38 points in the fourth quarter for the Oklahoma City Thunder. SGA, though, 40 points in the game, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. He was great on the offensive boards as well. He grabbed 4 offensive rebounds. SGA joined Russell Westbrook as the only player in franchise history to post a 49-10 line in a playoff game. This dude is special, but you got to have a Robin in these moments, and that's exactly what SGA had yesterday. And Jalen Williams, who they call J-Dub. J-Dub, first-time All-Star this year, third-team All-NBA. He scored a playoff career-high 34 points. He's averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals on 49% from the floor and 50% from 3. So SGA is the Batman. J-Dub, Jalen Williams is the Robin. They probably sealed up this series after a nice win on the road yesterday against Ant-Man and the Timberwolves. SGA, the MVP, Jalen Williams, partying like a rock star.
And we just went back-to-back UKers. SGA, Karl Anthony Towns. Think about the talent that Coach Cal had. All right, so going into the last hockey game, the Panthers had outscored the Hurricanes 16-4, never trailed in the series. This thing was over. They're at home. And those 3 losses for the Hurricanes extended this losing streak in the Eastern Conference Final to 15 games. They had not won a game. So the Hurricanes have reached the ECF 3 times since they won the Cup back in 06. And every time, Maddie, in 09, 19, 23, all sweeps. They had a good enough team, obviously, to make it a couple rounds, but never enough to win the Cup. And we were headed right for that situation this year. 15 straight losses put them 3 losses back at the all-time NHL record for straight losses in a specific playoff round. But last night, Steady Freddie got his chance at redemption and a chance to keep Carolina's season alive. 20 saves in all, blanked them. They killed off 4 power plays. So we move on, and they end that streak of losing 15 straight in the Eastern Conference Final. So I'll give it to the Hurricanes for the moment.
I like it. Second candidate for me, I'm going with an Athletic. Yeah, they're not the Oakland Athletics anymore. They're just the Athletics. Going to make their way over to Las Vegas soon enough. But I want to talk about Jacob Wilson. A lot of people probably don't even know who this guy is, but let me tell you about him because this dude is balling this year. 3rd in Major League Baseball in batting average, batting .350. He is 2nd in Major League Baseball in hits behind Aaron Judge with 70. Aaron Judge has 80. He is an absolute alien, as we all know, but this dude needs to become more of a household name. The Athletics probably not going to do a ton of important winning this year with them being very, very young, but this guy is dominating already. His dad played in the majors years ago, and here he is picking up where his daddy left off and leading his team in batting average, OBP, and hits, playing a premier position, that being shortstop. They play in a tough division in the AL West, but they got a young pillar to build around who is becoming one of the best hitters and is one of the best hitters in all of Major League Baseball right now. Jacob Wilson for the Athletics has been partying like a raw star all year.
All right, the O's suck, right? I know they got past the Red Sox. It was a wild game. I'm going to give it to a 31-year-old named Ryan O'Hearn. Yeah. So his last 5 games, he's batting .600. Over 5 games, 15 for 25. And against the Red Sox, he had everything going, including this.
That's in the air again to the alley. Abreu on the run. Nobody's going to get it. It drops between Abreu and Rafaela. Stop sign thrown up at third for Henderson, and the ball gets away in the middle of the diamond. Henderson breaks towards the plate. He's going to score. O'Hearn goes to third and start the circus music. The ball's being thrown all the way around the yard. O'Hearn is in to score.
A Little League World Series at the Major League level. And for those of you that are asking what in the world is a Little League World Series in Major League Baseball,
home run.
It's when you score a home run. Yeah, but there's another.
There's another element.
Yes. What the name implies that it's a home run. What is a Little League home run in the majors? Or what is a Little League?
Oh, I know what a Little League home run is. You just kept saying there's a Little League World Series.
Oh, I'm sorry. Little League home run. It means that there was 1 or more errors on the play to allow a home run. And that's what that was. That was just keep throwing it around where normally something would look like a routine out becomes a home run due to the bad news that's happening out there defensively.
And that's one of the only good things that has happened to the Orioles in the past couple weeks.
You ain't lying.
Crazy.
You ain't lying. Last candidate for me, I'm going to the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, they get a lot of pub. But Nafisa Collier needs to get the pub because we're probably looking at this year's MVP. She played at UConn. She was the 6th overall pick back in 2019. She leads the WNBA in points right now, 29.5 a night. Friday night in her last game, 33 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. She is an absolute monster for the Minnesota Lynx. Nafisa Collier, get to know the name if you don't know it, because she can ball.
Nice little party like a Rothstar this week. All right, we're going to come back top of the hour. Sports Center update here coming your way. And we did the 100 days before college football. Now we have the 100 days until the NFL. And we will glaze the donuts next. Biggest storylines coming up in hour number 2. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness, Ohio State's experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Listen to this. Wouldn't this sound nice? Clearer skin, better posture, improved digestion, better sleep, and more energy. Just a few of the endless benefits clients have received with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. A lot of dealerships not stocking much inventory right now because of reasons. But at Jermaine Lexus, they have new inventory arriving every day. Get what you want when you want it. Lease the all-new NX350 for as low as $389 per month. How about rates as low as 3.99% up to 48 months and 4.49% up to 60 months on their most popular models. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, jermainelexus.com.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill, hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Take action with Logan Services. Save up to $2,600 on a qualifying train system. Plus, pick 1 indoor air quality product free when you schedule your installation now. Making home comfort easy, Logan Services.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with OnePlus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. OTA starting for most of the NFL. The Cleveland Browns have come to terms with first-round pick defensive end Mason Graham. The deal is for 4 years and it's just shy of $41 million, fully guaranteed. The Cleveland Guardians continuing their series with the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight at Progressive Field. Tanner Bybee gets the ball for Cleveland. Dustin May for LA. 6:10 first pitch. The Cincinnati Reds out in Kansas City taking on the Royals at 7:40. Brady Singer versus Daniel Lynch, the pitching matchup. Coverage on ESPN Columbus begins at 7:10. We'll join it in progress here on The Fan at 8. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA playoffs at 8 tonight as the Pacers host the Knicks. Indiana up 2-1. Stanley Cup playoffs, the Edmonton Oilers look to take a 3-1 lead over the Dallas Stars at 8. This one's sponsored by RCD Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, Pataskala, and online at rcdrv.com.
These two have a ton in common. Anthony loves hockey, and Matty's always cold. This is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program. Happy to be with you guys coming off the holiday weekend. Everybody dragging a little bit. All right, so we've got a lot of storylines in the NFL, and we'll get to a lot of them here, but Matty and I decided to maybe rank our biggest three going into the season. And it's not easy because you want to lean towards quarterbacks and that sort of thing. And I think in our world, I think Shedeur is a really big story, but nationally it's not. I mean, I lied. Nationally it is.
Yeah, I think it will be.
I was debating whether I would put, because I was going to start with 3 and then we can work our way to 1. And we'll each give like our third one in the ranking, then kind of move up.
Okay.
And I'm not saying he's not in your. He may. You and I did not talk about this.
He did not make my top 3, but yeah. I think that storyline
of whether after this season we will know whether he's got something or not.
I just think the Browns quarterback situation as a whole, AR, will receive a lot of attention, mainly because of him. So as we sit here today, 100 days out from the NFL season starting, game 1, Eagles-Cowboys, we wanted to get into this. And so you're saying this is not your third, or it's your third?
Not.
Okay.
It's kind of an honorable mention, on whether or not after this season we would have a different narrative, a different thought, a different hope, whatever, around Shedeur Sanders. Will we be thinking about him after the season the way we're thinking about him now? And I don't even know how you're thinking about him now. I'm thinking about a guy that has intrigue around him. I'm wondering whether he will still have the same intrigue or more after the season.
I think narratives will shift because I think he will see a decent amount of playing time. And I think that will open the eyes.
How good will he be?
There you go. Right. And so I think whether it's 5 games, 10 games, whatever that looks like this year, I think he should and will get his opportunities to start. And so when that does happen, oh my goodness. I mean, all the talking shows, national talking shows, local radio shows are going to be talking about how this dude looks.
All right, you want to kick off your third?
I can.
All right.
I can, because you started with an honorable mention, extra credit rookie quarterback, and you led me exactly where I wanted to go. And my question is, 100 days out from the NFL season starting, are we going to go 3 for 3 with a rookie quarterback coming into the league and being an absolute beast? Because we've seen it back-to-back years. Are we going 3 for 3 AR? C.J. Stroud led this thing off a couple years ago with the Houston Texans. 23 touchdowns, 5 picks, got his team to the playoffs, north of 60% completion percentage. And then last year, Jayden Daniels comes up from Baton Rouge as the Heisman Trophy winner and leads his team to the NFC Championship game with 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions and 69% completion percentage. So now I'm thinking about old Cam Ward. And Cam Ward looked really good, obviously, in Miami. Number 1 overall pick. Coming into a division that has questions, right? Like C.J. Stroud in the Houston Texans. Are they really ready to dominate? Or are they a bit of a inconsistent NFL team with a good quarterback? Around him in that division, the Jacksonville Jaguars, we really don't know what they're going to be. Trevor Lawrence has, in some people's minds, one of the worst contracts in the league right now. And then Indy has Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson duking it out at the quarterback position. So Cam Ward as the number 1 pick. You look at what Tennessee's done this offseason. They brought in some vets on that O-line. They brought in some vets in the wide receiver room. They already had Calvin Ridley in-house. You add Van Jefferson and Tyler Lockett to this mix. Could he be the 3rd rookie quarterback in his first year to come in and put a nice dent in the league? That's something I've been thinking about. And are we seeing a shift in the NFL to where maybe it doesn't take these guys as long to not only succeed, but succeed at a fairly high clip and get their teams into the tournament right away?
Yeah. I like that one. I feel like the answer is going to be no, just because of the team that he has. And I think the other part of that would be interesting is that I almost feel like, for me, this isn't my second one, another honorable mention. See how I'm cheating?
Extra credit.
That's
why you win.
I almost feel like that the Jayden Daniels sophomore slump is a bigger storyline, if there is one, than whether Cam Ward is the guy. But we'll see. Mine's pretty obvious, and that's, will Aaron Rodgers save the Steelers from a losing season? They haven't had one since 2003. Now, a lot of people don't care about it. They've gone 8-8. It doesn't matter. I do think, though, that the storyline of him, because the Steelers have backed themselves into a corner now and kind of pursuing him, they're kind of backing off it a little bit here. But if he does, what can we expect from him in year 21 or whatever it is? I do think there'll be intrigue. I know that the Michael Wilbons of the world don't even like talking about him.
Don't even let him in the building.
Yeah, and to some degree, I understand where he's going with the drama part of it, but I don't know if he cannot be at least intrigued. If that dude is wearing a Pittsburgh Steeler helmet in this division, strap up, man. I think that would be a very big storyline. He would face the Packers. I feel like there is something there, because that would prove to me that the Steelers are not into the soft tank, and they are into continuing this, whatever this streak is of Tomlin not having a sub-500 season and then not having a losing season in 22 years. So I'll make that my third. Can Aaron Rodgers save them from their first losing season since 2003?
And if they don't get Aaron, would they call Atlanta, eat some of the money and say, Kirk Cousins, come on up. We got a spot for you. I like where you're at with that. Second one for me. Philadelphia, the reigning champs. Are they going to become the 10th team in NFL history to go back-to-back on us? Packers, Dolphins, Steelers, couple times, Niners, Cowboys, Broncos, Patriots, and the Kansas City Chiefs, all teams that have gone back-to-back and held up that Lombardi in consecutive seasons. When I asked myself the question, AR, who is just the best team on paper in the NFL? It's them for me. It is absolutely them. We've seen them. More importantly, we've seen their quarterback twice in 2 Super Bowls go toe-to-toe and be the best player on the field, with Pat Mahomes being on the other sideline. They have young talent ready to go. They have veteran talent ready to go. Their offense is absolutely loaded with the 2-headed monster at receiver and Saquon. I don't even think they need what they got from Saquon again this year to get back in the mix and play at a high level. Vegas is telling us they are the favorite, and I get it. Look, this is what you do when you win the Super Bowl. Usually whoever wins becomes the odds-on favorite the year after going into the offseason. But plus 650 Philadelphia is right now over at Bet365, and I think you're hard-pressed to find a better top-to-bottom roster than the Philadelphia Eagles and where they are. They know how to win. They're not scared of the Chiefs. The teams in their division and Washington and Dallas are good, but they are special to me. So I'm looking at Philadelphia, and I'm really starting to warm up to them being only the 10th team in league history to go back-to-back and hold up that Lombardi.
I like that one. My second one is, will Brock Purdy earn this money? It's It is. And by the way, that's in combination, will the Niners avoid falling into a lower tier? It's very possible both things could happen. And they've shed some salary. They have some remaining guys like CMC and George Kittle. But the 49ers, to me, are the most polarizing because they could definitely go from worst to first, or they could just kind of fall aside, which is so weird because they've had these roller coaster rides under Shanahan. And Purdy, with this contract, to me, is going to be the biggest narrative of the year. 5 years, $265 million, $181 million guaranteed, $53 million a year. He is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, and now we get to find out if he's really worth it. That, to me, is number two.
Okay, number one for me, Josh, Joe, and Lamar. Josh, Joe, and Lamar, who is going to slay the beast? Because this is a two-headed beast when you're talking about the road you got to go through to get to the Super Bowl. And Josh, Joe, and Lamar have played in AFC championship games. Joe Burrow's played in a Super Bowl. The Chiefs have lost on beating the Bills twice in an AFC championship game. They've beaten the Ravens once in an AFC championship game at home. These are the guys that are going to go down and have tremendous individual resumes. MVPs, two of them for Lamar, and MVP for Josh Allen last year when he wasn't supposed to win that thing, and Lamar was definitely supposed to win that thing. But these three guys, it's a legacy thing now for them. Like the numbers, the awards are going to be there for years and years to come. But it's all about that Lombardi. And so these guys are smack dab in the middle of their prime. I mean, we're talking Pat Mahomes in year 9, Joe, Lamar, Josh. These guys are in year 8, year 7 in the league. And so you are only going to have so much of this left. And I just cannot wait to see which one of these guys not only gets through the dark night in the Kansas City Chiefs, but gets it done. Because on the other side is that team that I was talking about that I think has the best chance to go back-to-back, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. So these guys now, AR, we know how great they are. We know how great they are. But it's the big thing that matters now, and it's hoisting that Lombardi up. So number one for me is Joe, Josh, and Lamar. Which one of you is going to get it done first?
Yeah. Well, Joe got him. Joe's gotten him before.
But he didn't win it.
He didn't go all the way.
He didn't win it.
So it's funny. You and I have the same number one, but different narratives. Yours is more of who's going to go through them. Mine is, are they still a Goliath? I don't know if the Chiefs are. They got torn to ribbons in the Super Bowl. That wasn't even game.
In what game?
In the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I heard that right when you said you're not sure if the Chiefs are still Goliath. Oh.
Yes. Did you watch that game? Goliath is the way people look at them as far as once they get there, they definitely will win it. That no one could beat them in the Super Bowl. That's the whole narrative. We've seen it twice now. And it's not that they're not great, but are they a Goliath? Meaning that when we got to the Super Bowl, what did we hear, Maddie? Well, I don't have the guts to pick against Mahomes.
Reading Mahomes.
Yeah. Well,
Reading Mahomes.
Look at what happened. Their offensive line issues are still there. Joe Thuney is gone. I would tell you that Denver, the Chargers, all of them right now, I don't think they're not licking their chops, but KC's gettable. I think they see it. They saw it in the Super Bowl. Yes, it was by the Eagles, but my narrative isn't that they're not. My question is, are they still? And I want to see it.
Versus the guys that Ice put up or just versus the league?
Are they still a Goliath? Are they still the team to beat?
What's been interesting is that the last
how many one-score games did they win last year?
That's what I was going to say.
They're teetering.
They I think there may be some blood in the water.
Yep.
There may be some of that. They won a couple years ago getting to the Super Bowl with their defense. Last year was the one-score games. They need their offensive pieces to be healthy. No Rashee Rice, all that stuff. We know the story there. But I do think that division is coming. Like that division is on the way, because I remember us having a conversation that division kind of mirrored what the AFC East looked like when Brady and Belichick were rolling through it. Now, with Bo Nix, Herbert, and the gang out there, maybe some teams are creeping up in their rearview mirror.
Speaking of Goliath, what does Vegas think about the Buckeyes' chances to repeat? You'll find out next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend and went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in Ohio. But the greatest football players and coaches of all time live up the road in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a trip there should be on every football fan's list. Go to 971thefan.com/goldjacket and enter to win a VIP experience to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion. Relive the glory.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is bringing the funny this summer. Tiffany Haddish takes the mic on Friday, July 18th with the Funny and Fearless Tour. Then Dion Cole Live hits the stage Friday, September 5th for a night of nonstop laughs. 2 comedy icons, 2 unforgettable nights. Get your friends, grab a drink, and get ready to laugh all night long. Big names, big laughs, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Visit HollywoodColumbus.com for more details. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness, Ohio State's experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Limit 10. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Good news. Jack has personally invited the fan to the Memorial Tournament, and we're broadcasting 30 hours of live content, and we'll try not to embarrass ourselves.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org. Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at ChangeTheGameOhio.org. That's ChangeTheGameOhio.org.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hopefully you did not forget the umbrella today because we have rain returning to our forecast, and it will be a cooler day with our temperatures struggling to get into the low 60s. As we go into tonight, chances of showers linger with overnight lows in the 50s, and then for Wednesday, rain chances continue in the morning. Could see some isolated thunderstorms in the next day, and temperatures on Wednesday getting into the upper 60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Anthony can follow direction very well, as long as he first prints out MapQuest. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, let's see if Vegas still thinks Kansas City is the team to beat. And then we'll get to the Buckeyes. Because that was my narrative. Are they still Goliath? Are they the team to beat? Because most analysts would say, yeah, even if the Eagles are who they are. Right now, the Eagles are the team to beat for the repeat. They are the betting favorite at 6.5 to 1. There are 3 teams currently tied for the second betting favorite. Mm-hmm. One of them is the Chiefs. The irony is the other 2 are in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore and Buffalo.
Not a surprise, right? I think if one of those teams popped up in the Super Bowl, nobody would be shocked. Those teams have been knocking at the door. The Chiefs have been winning Super Bowls, hosting the AFC Championship game, and the Ravens and Bills have been there as well. So that feels appropriate to me.
You don't think there would be a little bit of shock if it were the Ravens, just because of Lamar's reputation in the playoffs?
No, I think when you've been inching closer and closer the way that they have, I don't think it'd be a surprise. Like, I think a surprise team in the AFC would be like if the Chargers got to the Super Bowl this year. That would be a surprise. But, yeah, that's what all these guys got to try to overcome at this point in their careers. It's getting there. Outside of 15, he's the guy.
I agree with you. It wouldn't be a crazy surprise. And for me, it certainly wouldn't, because I'm the one that put the Chiefs on notice. That I think that this isn't a foregone conclusion, that they're always going to be the team that somehow comes out on top. And maybe all I need was the Super Bowl to see it. Now, that wasn't against the AFC. Those guys have demons. You talked about it. Lamar, for sure, that TLC just mentioned. Josh Allen, who's played big, but the team hasn't come through. There's no question those teams have a lot of mental gymnastics to do if they're playing the Chiefs in an AFC title game, especially at Arrowhead. Now, if they're at home, there's even more pressure on because they're supposed to win if they're at home in an AFC title game.
That was very impressive what they did, a couple of years ago when we were all like, finally, you get them out of Arrowhead for a playoff run, winning to Buffalo, winning to Baltimore, doesn't matter, we're still going to the Super Bowl.
Mahomes hasn't had to do it.
Right. Yeah. That was the one time that it was kind of put up or shut up for them to see that new pathway for them, and they still found a way. If they have Andy Reid, if they have Mahomes, they're still going to be in the mix. They're just that dangerous, and they've done a good job of drafting well too. And their defense, that's the other part too, is like, I've been banging the table for their defense the last couple of years, how good their defense is. I get it. Mahomes is amazing. The dude's a magician. But go look at what Kansas City's defense has done the last 2 seasons. And that's why a couple of years ago when you had, those receivers and playmakers dropping all those passes, they could still stay close and win those games and overcome those games because of their defense. And then last year, you have a couple funky games go their way, right? Week 1, Isaiah Likely's toe is on the line. I think a couple weeks after that, whatever it was, Joey B and the Bengals going to their house, and that pass interference, I know, still is haunting some Bengals fans, and they know that they can beat them. And so everybody's going to get breaks, but teams absolutely, I think, have gained confidence over the last couple of years that they aren't the Death Star like they used to be and just have this, there's just no way the Chiefs are going to lose. If you don't make mistakes, which is easier said than done, and if you have the talent, the way the Bills, the Bengals, and the Ravens have, you have a chance to knock them off.
Worry about their O-line. And the 2 Super Bowls they've lost, the O-line was in ruins, and that's what happened to them.
Yeah.
And they were destroyed in both. I'm not saying they're not a really good team, but Kelsey's at the end of his run.
Oh, yeah.
And the O-line is kind of Band-Aided together.
Speaking of that,
Mahomes.
I love that you brought that up. If we could talk about this rookie class, one of the rookies with the most pressure on him this year is the former Buckeye Josh Simmons. They drafted him in the first round to be the protector of the golden child of that franchise. Amongst all the rookies, you can make a case that dude, because of where their team is and in their winning window, that he has the most pressure of any rookie in the NFL this year.
I'm not trying to take away last season. Last season was epic for them. They lost one game that mattered, the Super Bowl. They did lose at Buffalo in the regular season. The game at Denver, Mahomes didn't even play. So, and I look at their season, and it was amazing because having the knack to be able to win when it counts is probably the most important thing. And they had it last year. Winning in overtime against Tampa, 2-point game against Denver, 3-point win at Carolina. Like, you just have to ask yourself, when will this come back to finally get them?
Look, it's a whole new year. I think when we see them with the likes of a Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy in year 2, I think their offense will be explosive. I do. I hear what you're saying, though, about that offensive line. Creed Humphrey is awesome at center, but outside of that, there are question marks.
I do think that it's getting even more important for them to have home field advantage. I know they did it, the one we talked about, but the 2 guys you mentioned that are knocking at the door, the odds eventually are going to tilt. And if you get them at home and they're not a Goliath and they're good but not unbeatable, I think they finally fall. But that's why I put it as my number 1 narrative. As far as the Buckeyes, we'll have Howard Griffith on next from the Big Ten Network and what their repeat ability is. Vegas says it's very good because it's one thing to look at them and say, well, can they win all their games? But they're going to be in the tournament. That we know. They're certainly a top 12 team. They're probably going to be a top 2 team. They'd be number 1 if they beat Texas out of the gate. They're 5-1 to win it all, or 5.5, and Texas is 5.5. So they're kind of right there. So that opening game is it as far as setting the narrative for the season. And did you have an anonymous quote? What's the one that stuck out most to you?
So Athlon Sports, they did, I think, a pretty cool article where you have some Big Ten coaches around the league talking about every team and what they think of what their 2025s will look like. And a couple of the quotes when it came to Ohio State is, whoever wins the quarterback battle has one of the best receivers in the room, or best receiver rooms in the country. We all know that with Carnell, Jeremiah Smith, and the rest of those guys. One question mark that a Big Ten coach has is he says, the defense is stocked. Defensive tackle might be their question mark, but they're going to be dominant in league play, which I think is interesting because that's kind of a 2-part thing there, right? You lose Jack, JT, Tyleik Williams turned himself into a first-round pick. I would love to have asked that coach when he says they're going to dominate in league play, the feel of outside of the league, meaning the Texas games and where he thinks other teams are around the country. Does he see Ohio State on par with some of the perceived dominant teams in college football this year? Because we were reacting to what Josh Pate did, who covers the league for CBS, and he had, Ohio State 8th or 9th after his tour around spring football. Maybe he was seeing something that, yes, there's good talent there, but maybe they're young, inexperienced, and all of those things. But the defensive line for BAR, no doubt, is a question mark, and which guys can step up and follow all the vets last year that helped Ohio State win another natty.
I think a lot of it is the uncertainty. Not that he couldn't be great, but the uncertainty at quarterback. That Pate was more willing to put his eggs in the Drew Aller basket, Klubnik basket, Nussmeier basket, Arch Manning, just the hype, and we've seen a little bit of it. I think that's what it is. I don't think that they're not great and they're not talented. I just think to tab them as national champs again, everyone's kind of have to wait and see on the quarterback. We're going to come back in 2 minutes with Howard Griffith. And we'll ask him, and I think I already know the answer. Is this team this year's Indiana? Will they become the new golden child in the Big Ten? That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
It's time to make your yard the best on the block with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Start by keeping the weeds at bay with Earthgrow mulch, now 4 for $10. Then keep your garden thriving with Miracle-Gro garden soil, now on special buy, 4 for $10. Give your neighbors yard envy all summer long with Memorial Day savings going on now at the Home Depot.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up, knuckleheads? You're listening to Rothman and Ice on The Fan. It's not terrible.
Not anymore. Not that we have our man, Howard Griffith, Big Ten Network football analyst. And you know, back in the day, you did not want to get in his way. Howard, good to have you, my man. Thanks for making the time.
Anytime, fellas. How you doing today?
We're doing great, just kind of dissecting some things. So we were going over, and I'll let Maddie mention this to you, we were going over some anonymous coaches giving their comments on teams in the Big Ten. And I had said before the break, I said, could this team be this year's Indiana? And I think you know who I'm talking about, and I'll let Maddie pick it up from there.
So, Howard, we've been talking for the last couple of weeks, looking at, the Ohio State schedule and all those things, like, hey, that Illinois team, watch out, Buckeye fans, that may be one of those teams. And we wanted to read this anonymous quote to you from a Big Ten coach saying, I think they would have made, if they would have made the playoff instead of SMU, they could have made some noise. They're returning a ton too, so that gives them a real advantage going into the fall. Luke Altmaier doesn't get enough love. That kid has become a great quarterback. So, Howard, there is some growing momentum out there in the Big Ten streets that this Illinois team could be a bit of a problem in the league this year.
Well, you want me to give the analyst answer or you want me to give the alum answer?
I want the alum answer.
Two different things.
I want the alum answer.
That's right.
And so as an alum, I'm excited for it, but what makes me nervous, right, is that they haven't necessarily been in this position before. You're right. Everyone's going to be picking them as the team that has a chance to really get making some noise, making the playoffs, and then having a chance to make some noise. But young people are strange when it comes to this kind of stuff. You never know what you're going to get. But I'll tell you this, from an analyst standpoint, Brett Bielema has done a tremendous job of building this program, whether it's the coaching staff, also along with the players to get them to where they are right now. And now it's one of those times where they have to continue to build and kind of block the noise out from the outside because they're going to be told how good they are, what they have a chance of making, what's on the horizon. So they're going to hear from friends, family, and fans all season, but they have to focus like they focused last year to really get the outcome that most alums, and obviously them as a university and a team, want to achieve this year.
They will take on Ohio State. They'll get them in Champaign. Give me your feeling on, you said, trying to be here before. They won 10 games in a season for the first time in almost 25 years. But give me your take on what are you most, I guess, confident in? Is it having a senior quarterback? Is it having all 5 starting offensive linemen back? Is it the entire secondary? Is having a star linebacker? Where is your confidence the highest?
Well, I think when it all comes down to it, with a team like this, it's going to start at your quarterback position. And the quarterback has to be able to have time to be able to turn around, hand the ball off to get the run game going, but also to be able to take advantage of what's going on in the secondary. You have to have a quarterback that's going to be confident. Luke will be very confident this year. This is his third time through the system. He understands what the play call is all about. But it's just about being able to take control. Everything starts up front. Even though I mentioned the quarterback first, you have to have an offensive line that's going to come together, whether they have injuries or not. They're going to have to develop more than the starting 5. They're probably going to have to go at least 8 to 9 deep, and you only have to look right there in Columbus and see how deep you need to go as far as your offensive line is concerned during the run they had last year.
Speaking of happenings here in Columbus, Howard, we all know Ryan Day, his staff, do an awesome job of bringing talent into the building. That team last year was special. A lot of those guys have gone on now to the NFL, and now here we are forecasting a new season, and there's just a lot of new, right? And new's not always a bad thing, but you got two new coordinators, a new quarterback. When you look at where they're at on paper right now, like what are the couple of the biggest questions for you?
Well, I think it's got to start at the quarterback spot. That's where it has to when you think about Ohio State and what they've been able to accomplish, right? And even so Ohio State is facing something that they faced before when you have some younger players that all of a sudden now get thrust into it all. Now that when they walk into the locker room, they already have those big 2 to 3 gaudy rings that they have from last year. So they know what it's like to be a champion and go out and win a championship, but it's the work that's got to be able to get you there. That's the part that they have to continue to build, and that's a big part of what Mick Marotti does during the offseason, and the coaching staff are going to continue to do, kind of breaking this team down and say, hey, guys, last year's behind us. We got to turn the page and we got to get going. We've got new faces. There are going to be new questions. To be ready to answer those questions, we've got to be working hard during this time as well, not just when you get to training camp, not just during spring ball that obviously has passed, but now doing the little things to try to put yourself in a position that when you have that opportunity to be great, to make that great play, you've already visualized that play, you've seen that play, and you've really competed and made that play in practice, and your teammates have seen you go out and make big plays when things are on the line.
He's our friend Howard Griffith, Big Ten Network football analyst, and between the three of us, we have 8 rushing touchdowns in a single game, so that's pretty cool. If you add them all up. Let me ask you where your trust is in Penn State and Drew Aller, and what if they are tabbed as a preseason number 1?
Well, I mean, I think it's easy to see why they would be tabbed, right? When, again, I go back to the whole quarterback thing. You talk about Drew Aller. Drew Aller has questions he has to answer as well in the big games. So what can he get done now? But to me, I've loved his talent and what he's been able to do since he stepped on the campus at Penn State. There is a confidence that has been building over the last couple of years, whether it's James Franklin talking about the university is now lockstep. Everyone's on the same page. Now, I don't know who wasn't on the same page, so I can't answer that question. I'm just repeating some of the things that he said in this past season and in the offseason. I'm very confident in what they've been able to do. This is a team, man. They continue to answer the bell. We know they've done a great job recruiting. One of the things that Coach Franklin probably doesn't get enough credit for is being able to replace defensive coordinators. Obviously he's been able to do it. He'll have to do it again this year, as you guys know what happened in Columbus. But this is a team I think that'll be poised. I mean, they also have to. They can't buy into the hype because it's been for so long, right? It's been, oh, this is the year. Are they going to get over? If there were a 12-team playoff, they'd be in. Well, they were in. Now all of a sudden, I'd be shocked if they weren't a favorite in some of the polls to be the Big Ten representative and win the Big Ten.
So Oregon goes into the offseason with a bad taste in their mouth after a very impressive regular season, but Ohio State put it on them and when it mattered most. I wanted to ask you, Howard, your understanding of what they're doing at quarterback now going into this year, right? So Dan Lanning comes in, you bring in 2 vets and Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel win a whole bunch of games, and those guys are now in the NFL. But who are the names we need to know, and who do you think could be the guy for them this year?
I think Dante's going to be the guy, the young quarterback that's from Michigan. Really, when you start to hear and talk with some of the players last year, they were really raving about what he was doing at the quarterback spot and really just how athletic he is. And for him, it was really gaining a grasp of what was going on around it. I think a lot of people were shocked that he ended up transferring to Oregon when he knew Gabriel was going to be there, but he's had a chance to sit and watch a guy that's played a lot of college football, understood how to be a pro, and so he's been immersed in that program, and a lot of the players, a lot of those receivers really talked about, all the big plays he was able to make. Now they're not going to give him the job, no question about it. He's going to be in a quarterback battle. But again, he's now coming into a situation where you're not just stepping in for a series here and a series there. If you're going to be that main guy, you got to make sure you're able to take care of the ball and you can move the football team and not put the ball in harm's way.
You got a feeling about Wisconsin at all this year? It feels like people believe they'll be back. More pressure on Luke Fickell. Got the extension. I know they're always, every now and then, they're a tough out, but no one really trusts their offense when it counts. But do you have a feel on them this year?
You know what? I could have stopped you about 30 seconds into answering that question. No, I have no feel for them. The things that, you know that Luke Fickell is an outstanding coach, a really good coach. Does a great job of motivating and coaching technique, but for whatever reason, it has not clicked. The things have not hit it where they needed to. They've made strides defensively, but this is going to be a huge year for them. And I'm not saying it's a huge year for obviously job reasons. I just think this is a year where they got to kind of figure it out. They'll make some adjustments. I think offensively, defensively, they're kind of heading in where they were going in the same direction, but they needed to continue to build the depth on the defensive side to ultimately be able to do what they wanted to. The biggest questions, man, are going to be over there on the offensive side. What is that identity going to look like, and are they going to be able to get back in the mix? Because when we had divisions, the Badgers were always in the mix, right? They were always in the mix. Now, all of a sudden, we have no idea who they are. And with the emergence of teams like Indiana, and now a lot of hype being tossed at Illinois, and Iowa's always going to be there, even though they struggle offensively. You don't know exactly right now where the Badgers fit, because we haven't seen anything to give a lot of people a lot of confidence in who they're going to be in this upcoming year.
Real quick, Howard, I want to go out to Ann Arbor with you. Look, a lot of people up there are excited about Bryce Underwood. They're invested in him financially at a very high clip. The quarterback play, as you know, was a mess last year. But if he is like the weaponry around a true freshman, if he is the guy, do you think Michigan's ready for a leap on that side of the ball this year?
Yeah, I think part of their issue when you start to talk about the weapons around them, and maybe they don't have a guy that can uncover, they don't have a guy that can go deep. A lot of those ills really happen from who's under center. Can you get some plays? Can you hit more than the deep ball occasionally? And they really, quite frankly, weren't able to do that. And the day I was there, probably had a chance to see him in the spring. I'm gonna tell you, Underwood is the real deal. And I'm saying that from seeing him throw 2 interceptions at the practice I was at. But I can tell you that he's going to be one of those players that's going to grow exponentially week by week, because I just think he has so much talent, and he's just such a student of the game. He's one of those guys that, they have to figure out how to throw him out the facility, because he's going to sneak back in and go watch film and work out and do all these things. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that I think, we've watched, Ohio State fans have been used to. When veterans get excited about standing up and watching a true freshman operate when the offense has the ball, when veterans are running around excited and he's able to get those guys excited, it's just not about the NIL money. It's not just about all the hype. They truly believe that he's special, because he feels, when you watch him move, he feels like he's just one of the guys. He's in the team. He's with the team. Guys it doesn't appear that from a distance that guys are jealous of what's going on. When they're on the football field, those guys are locked into what he's doing, and he does a great job of leading, and that's only going to get better. But let's be real. A true freshman is going to have growing pains in this league, particularly with all the hype and the pressure that's going to be on him.
Former All-Big Ten back and 2-time Super Bowl champ, our friend Howard Griffith from the Big Ten Network. Thanks, my man. Always good to have you. We'll talk soon.
You guys got your tickets for Vegas? Media Day?
That's right. Media Day, all that stuff.
We don't, but can you send your PJ down here to pick us up? And then we'll come out there.
Now that I wish I had, but I'm sure you should touch base with Herb Street. I'm sure he can take care of you guys.
There you go.
very much.
All right,
thanks, Howard. Be well. Thanks, Howard Griffith on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Could they flip a big boy headed to another Big Ten team? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with OnePlus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Listen to this. Wouldn't this sound nice? Clearer skin, better posture, improved digestion, better sleep, and more energy. Just a few of the endless benefits clients have received with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU football insiders. You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Side Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, just saw this a little bit on Scarlet and Game, and they were talking about potential flip here and whether Ohio State and Oregon are going at it for a 5-star edge named Richard Wesley, who recently committed to Oregon. And I guess Lanning's made a lot of headlines after he kind of jumped in to try to get this kid. I don't know what this sentence means. It had cringe written all over it. There's a new twist to it.
Oh, the commitment they're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but why wouldn't Lanning go after him? What would be the...
No, wait, can you repeat what you just said? The way you phrased that? Like he jumped in with him? They both jumped into a pool together.
Like literally.
Literally, they jumped into a pool.
When I read it as a figurative thing. That he kind of jumped into the recruiting pool.
So 2 cannonballs into the pool. Lanning and this kid is what you're telling me happened?
Cannonball!
So Richard Wesley, did you say was his name? He jumped in the pool.
Yeah, that's right.
Dan Lanning ripped off his shirt and followed him. Dad bod, by the way.
Well, he's a coach.
It was also just super cringy because Richard Wesley kind of gave like this monologue leading up to it of like, where am I going to go? I've been going on this journey trying to figure out who I'm going to do this journey with. Hey, coach, you ready? And then Dan Lanning's off to the side, swoops into the camera shot. Okay. They both jump in the pool. Dude, it was horrible.
Man. I have to see this. I have not seen this. So now go ahead, TLC.
You really don't need to see it.
I'm not missing anything?
It's terrible.
Okay, so AR, you're saying now we have an update.
I'm saying that he has like 4 or 5 schools that are still kind of, I guess.
Still sliding in the DMs.
I guess he's taking official visits to the Buckeyes, Oregon, Texas, A&M, but he committed to Oregon on May 10th.
Okay.
So why would he have, so he still has visits scheduled for June 6th with Oregon, Texas, June 20th, Ohio State. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense.
They're all bidding wars. That's what we do know. That's what
August
this is now.
30th.
That's what
that's Ohio State.
The day before,
I guess
Texas
coming in right before,
which adds up.
Okay.
So you're saying he's in the class of 26, this kid?
Yeah, and now it's really interesting because August 30th, when the Buckeyes are hosting
old Arch in the gang.
Old Arch.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you bring him to town. He's 27. Sorry.
27, so a couple years. Okay,
well, no, I'm sorry. He reclassified. He was originally 27. I think he's going to be 26.
So there's some time for him, obviously, to change his mind, jumping in the pool or not with Dan Lanning. I will say this.
It's going to be nice and warm in late August. Maybe you can find a pool at Ryan Day's house.
There you go. The whole Naheem Offord situation really got this thing going with Ohio State and Oregon on the recruiting trail because remember, Naheem Offord, one of the top corners in the country, was committed to Ohio State, and then it was reported that old Uncle Phil Knight, founder of Nike, an alum of Oregon, came in with a big old bag and promised this kid, I'll make a customized shoe for you and all of that, and now he is an Oregon Duck. So these programs are always going to be competing for similar talent since they're one of the top 2 programs in the conference. That's no surprise, but the Naheem Offord story, I know, was a little bit of a thorn in Ryan Day and Buckeye Nation's side because he was supposed to be paired with Devin Sanchez in the future and having 2 of the best cornerbacks in the conference. Now you'll be going up against him for years to come.
Interesting little ride.
Yeah.
The other big honor today was that EA Sports coming out with College Football 26 later this summer. It's going to have a big Ohio State paint job on it, and you'll have Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs, and head coach Ryan Day on the deluxe cover.
Oh, yeah.
Smith's going to be in the standard cover as well.
Yeah,
it'll be the first time an Ohio State athlete has been on EA Sports as the main guy.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It's the one cover you're talking about where there's a bunch of people with Day and that crew over there, and that one, I mean, it's Caleb Downs and Lane Kiffin and all these different guys, Reggie Bush, Kirby Smart, they're all in one. And then the other one, which is cool for Jeremiah, is it's him and Ryan Williams, the 2 superstar true freshman wide receivers that just rock the college football world. So that is really cool as well because Jeremiah, as we know, is just a freak of nature with what he does, and he's only going to get better and better. But Ryan Williams down there in Tuscaloosa was awesome.
Can I get a Lane Kiffin on there from Florida Atlantic with a wrinkled polo and one eye shut from the sun, squinting in, and just get a Go Owls.
Yeah, Go Owls. We got to find that clip. I used to play that for you all the time.
It was unbelievable.
He was hungover doing that video.
Totally.
There was no doubt he was hungover. But on the one cover, AR, it's Dan Lanning. It looks like Lenore Sellers. Quarterback name to know for South Carolina.
No, it's Dylan Stewart.
Oh. Is that Dylan Stewart? Oh, the young pass rusher?
Yeah.
Okay, that's him. Okay, and then you got Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik on this thing. So, okay. It's pretty cool. DJ Lagway, Florida next to Tebow on it. So, look, the game's back. This gets a lot of people going. EA Sports, it's in the game. You know what time it is with college football.
It's in the game.
It's in the game.
It's in the game. That's your Buckeye Bolton for today.
Hey, Dylan Stewart's a dog, TLC. Nice.
He sure is.
Nice.
All right, so we're going to have to attempt something.
Okay. You better hope this works, too, because you just blew through a chat roulette question.
I did?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try to string two cans together. I don't know if this is going to work. So Nicklaus is doing his presser, Mr. Jack Nicklaus.
Golden Bear?
You had to guess. That's right,
Okay.
the Golden Bear. And we will attempt to do a little Golden Bear dip in out there from the memorial coming up next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Summer is officially here, and that means rising temperatures. You're going to be thinking about how you can keep cool all summer long. What's the best plan here? Well, one of the ways you can beat the heat and keep the air conditioning you're paying for in your home is to get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. And now's a great time to do it. They've got a semi-annual sale where you buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows for free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a whole house full of windows. No money down, no interest, no monthly payments until 2027. It's a deal that can't be beat. You're getting a great deal from Window Nation because they are high-efficiency windows that are also very affordable. They do that by working directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. But don't wait on that semi-annual sale. You buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows free. Free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. You've got to schedule your estimate today. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen. That's just you drinking a Big Gulp from Speedway. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Schefter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And now through May 31st, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now with Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down per $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Going on.
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
This just in. The NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. OTA starting for most NFL teams. A couple of guys who didn't show. Falcons quarterback Kirk Cousins and Bills running back James Cook. Speaking of the Bills, former Buckeye Joey Bosa pulled a calf muscle. He will probably miss the remainder of the spring. The Cleveland Browns have come to terms with first-round pick Mason Graham on a 4-year deal worth just shy of $41 million fully guaranteed. The Cleveland Guardians continuing their series with the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight up at Progressive Field, 6:10 first pitch. The Cincinnati Reds in Kansas City taking on the Royals at 7:40. Coverage over on ESPN Columbus begins at 7:10. We'll join it in progress here on The Fan at 8. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA playoffs at 8 tonight. The Pacers hosting the Knicks. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or online, rcdrv.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
All right, this is what they call over-promising and under-delivering. I had gotten word that we were going to string the cans together and get this to happen. And maybe my biggest problem was I put my faith in the hands of one Adam King, who I was getting some great updates that 10 TV was going to be feeding this audio back here to the station.
What happened?
Live, and now, I don't know. What now? What was that sound effect you just threw out there?
We have an updated link.
Okay, so you have a link.
I have a link.
You want to listen to? Is he at the podium?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Jack is at the podium.
Oh, yeah, what makes me feel? Well, I mean, you look back on what happened and where it went and how it started from a very, very small, humble beginning, and how that it's grown through. And because the whole idea of the Memorial Tournament was to bring golf back to Columbus, Ohio, a place where I grew up, to thank the people in Central Ohio for the support they gave me through all my career. And that was the whole reason for bringing it back. Charity became a part of that, although back in those days, charity was a very small part of tournaments. I mean, tournaments gave, a couple $1,000s to charity in those days. That was pretty big, to be able to give anything. And that's gone to where you see tournaments now. Good gracious, is Valero the highest on the tour?
It's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I went down to Valero earlier this year. What they 27,000, 27 million?
Yes, I think annually it's about.
What was it, Scott? 28 million this year. I mean, what a number. We're not that here, but we're doing what we can do. We've supported Nationwide Children's Hospital from day one. It's been a big part of this tournament. I don't know if you remember, but the girls used to be the Twigs used to work in this golf tournament, where the girls that came in and did were the volunteers, and they were paid an hourly wage, and their hourly wage was a donation to the hospital. I mean, it was unbelievable how these things happened and went. But the growth of that, or to see that what we've got now, what have we got, 33,000, 3,500 volunteers. We've got great coverage. We've got great sponsor in Workday. We've got a great field, an elevated field. We've got a purse of what are we, $20 million purse? I mean, we were 20,000 maybe then. Maybe a little bit more than that, but not a whole lot more. Maybe 20,000 may have been first prize then. But hey, we've come a long way, baby.
And just before we take questions, I'd just like your comments on you honor a special person every year, and this year it's a very, very special person in Barbara.
Well, it's a special person to me. It's and so you understand how that came about. My son Gary came to me, I don't know, a couple months before the tournament, and he said, "Dad, have you ever thought about honoring Mom?" I said, "No, it really hadn't entered my mind, Gary." I said, "But you're absolutely right." He says, "She's been as much a part of this tournament as I have. From day one, she's been the guiding light for good common sense and good judgment, and the tour wives have all been looked up to Barbara and where she's gone and what she's done, and the people who've come into this tournament, many have come here because of Barbara." I said, so I called Joe Dye. Joe Dye. No, I didn't call Joe Dye. I couldn't call him. I called Charlie Meacham. And I told Charlie, and I said, "Charlie," it's been suggested. He says, "What do you think?" He says, "God," he says, "I hadn't thought about that either," but he says, "You're absolutely right." And so he called me back the next day. He says, "I canvassed the Captain's Club." He says, "Boy, unanimous." And I said, so when I got I had the honor to be able to announce that on television. I couldn't get it out. But Barbara's meant obviously to the tournament, what she obviously meant to me and our family, and it's a very, 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 very special year.
Absolutely. Well, it's wonderful. We'll take some questions. If you have a question, just raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone, and we'll start with
Rob.
Jack, 50th tournament, a lot of memories. What memories stand out? I know it's a lot.
Oh, come on. What memories stand out? They all stand out.
Azingers, anything specific? Azingers, bunker shot?
I look at the thing. The first year, Roger Maltby hit a stake, at the 17th green, and I think that kept him in the playoff, and he won. I think we had a 3-hole playoff that first year with he and Hale Irwin, him and Hale Irwin, excuse me, and corrected my own self, Barbara, and that was pretty special. Then Roger was celebrated so much he left his check down, and I don't know what bar he was in town, but he left his check there, and I think he got it back though. Then the second year I won, and unfortunately we couldn't finish it on Sunday. We had bad weather, and I finished it on Monday morning, and won that. And I've always felt that was probably the most difficult tournament that I'd ever won, hardest, because of what I did as it relates to the tournament. I was out picking up papers all the time, stuffing them in, and I don't remember who was caddying for me. Probably Angela was probably caddying for me at the time. I don't know. And stuffing them in his pockets and checking stakes in the ground, and if I saw something here, I wrote it down, and Barbara would come in with her checklist at night. I saw this out there, that, bap, 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 bap. So we go through that. We get that, try to get fixed the next day. I mean, these were things we did in the early years. And, it's, this year I went around the golf course, and I saw the superintendent, Chad, and I said, golf course is perfect. I don't have a comment. not a comment on the golf course. Pretty good. And so, and the golf course is really good. But, the early years, we didn't know. I mean, I remember Ed Etchels was our superintendent. I remember it was a 79 that Watson won. Is that correct? And that's the year that Ed was more about making sure that nobody could play the golf course and had the greens skid as fast. He got the greens over 17 on Sunday. I think I shot 79 in the last round, picked up places on the field. But I mean, it was, I finally got to Ed. I said, Ed, it's not about us. It's about the tournament. He says, I don't care what they shoot on the golf course. I want a fair, honest test of golf. And I said, not something for somebody's ego. I said, I think that, I just left the locker room and the comments that come in the locker room, one of the fellows I just talked to, they said the golf course is fair, it's fun, it's difficult. He says it's the way it should be. And that's basically what I want. I want people to tell me that we've got a good stern test of golf, and one that's going to produce a great champion. And I don't think this answers your question, Rob, but that's what we're trying to produce. And sure, Azinger's shot was a fantastic shot. Tom Watson winning again was fantastic. I hit it out of bounds in '84 on 17th hole and still ended up tying and getting in a playoff and then beating Andy Bean in the playoff. All those are special moments. I mean, the way these guys have played. I mean, Scotty as your winner from defending champion. I mean, he's been fantastic. He's been the star of the tour, and I just talked to him in the locker room here just a minute ago, and he's delighted to have him back to be here to compete. So many things I couldn't pick. It'd be hard to pick one thing out.
That is fantastic stuff from 85-year-old Jack Nicklaus, founder and host of the Memorial Tournament out there live right now. We're glad to bring that to you, and through the courtesy and help of the Memorial Tournament. And it's Jack's place. It's an unbelievable. You don't have to be a lover of golf to love going out there and being a part of it. And when you think about what he just said in the beginning, which is that Roger Maltby won the first, this is the 50th playing. Next year will be the 50th anniversary. So 76 was the first tournament. Roger Maltby wins, and he wins $40,000 and leaves his check at some bar. And I'm sure $40,000 was a unbelievably big amount of money back then.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the winner this year will receive $4.3 million, and what golf has done in the advertising world and everything is amazing. When Jack won it, and he's won it twice, when he won it in '84, that one he just mentioned, he won $90,000. And so it's almost unrelatable to him. But that is very cool. And then the fact that Barbara Nicklaus is the honoree, it seems so perfect on the 50th playing. He has always spoken of her in such a cool way. And my friend Dave Shedlowski, who basically puts together the entire program, we've had him on the show before, has written a remarkable story about her entitled Wonder Woman. It's in the program out there this year, and you can buy it and have it and keep it and read it. But there was a quote in there, and Jack's always talked about his his greatest victory in life was getting her to say yes and becoming Barbara Nicklaus. But when I hear him talk about her and saying that nobody, she has time for everyone, and she always has a sense of what's right. And if you think about that line for a second, when someone that has an impeccable sense for what's right, and she just stands for the greatest things, and it'll be a wonderful deal tomorrow at 1:30 when they honor her.
Yeah, it's awesome, and you can hear it in Jack's voice how proud he is of her to be her husband, what he's built out there, and this is one of the go-to tourneys around the tour. And so him throwing out there. I just got done talking to the best player in golf is awesome. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation, but it's always special every year when this week rolls around. And you nailed it, AR. You can be a diehard golf fan like yourself. You can be a casual golf fan or not even a golf fan. Come out there, have a good time, have some drinks, have some food, feel the energy, and enjoy yourself Thursday to Sunday. It's awesome out there.
Should be awesome. All right, we'll be there tomorrow, of course, early and often, bringing you our show from the halfway house. We'll come back with a pre-snap read, and there is an NFL coach who says it is inevitable. This man will be in this place. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy Hatcher, a former professional baseball player, and I'm a patient at Tri-State Men's Health. Before I started the treatment, it was like my body was sore all the time, and I was feeling very, very sluggish. One day, I would be full of energy, and the next day was like, where did all my energy go? And since I've started, my body hasn't felt this good in a long time. I feel like, I'm not 21 to 25 again. It's just been great. I feel very, very comfortable coming here. When you have the energy, it's amazing. You get to do so many other things that you couldn't do prior to that. If you're tired of hurting in the mornings, you want to improve your health, you want to feel better, give a call to Tri-State Men's Health. I promise you, you will feel better.
Thanks, Billy. It's true. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Here's a fresh deal on produce. 18-ounce containers of blueberries and 2-pound containers of strawberries are only $2.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Fan is headed to the Memorial. Are you ready for 30 hours of live coverage? Oh, it's true, baby.
Sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. TheWaterworks.com.
The best Memorial coverage, The Fan.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Alzheimer's disease affects more than 6 million Americans, and nearly 2/3 are women. Hi, I'm Cherie Sample Hughes, Chair for Women in Government. Alzheimer's disease progresses slowly over 10 to 20 years in stages. A timely diagnosis may allow for more options and bring new hope. This May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Talk to your doctor if you notice any memory or thinking issues in yourself or a loved one. Find more information at womeningovernment.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hopefully you did not forget the umbrella today because we have rain returning to our forecast, and it will be a cooler day with our temperatures struggling to get into the low 60s. As we go into tonight, chances of showers linger with overnight lows in the 50s, and then for Wednesday, rain chances continue in the morning. Could see some isolated thunderstorms in the next day, and temperatures on Wednesday getting into the upper 60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Maddie, Bet365 time.
Let's get into it, brother, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians hosting Ohtani and the Dodgers. So fun little series happening up in Cleveland right now. Dodgers take care of game 1, 7-2. We'll see what Tanner Bybee in the game can cook up tonight. First pitch for that one is at 6:10. I'm staying in baseball, because Juan Soto AR has not hit a home run in 14 straight games. He has 8 this year, but we are on a homer drought for one of the best power hitting and overall hitting bats in the sport. So Juan Soto, they're playing who are they playing? Oh, Chicago White Sox tonight. Give me a Juan Soto dinger plus 375. I may go down this path of doing this every day with some other stuff until he does hit a home run. I don't know what's going on with this guy this year, AR, but he is just being very mid, as the old kids say. So, yeah, plus 375 tonight, Juan Soto to hit a dinger. I'm rolling with that.
Well, nobody ever really struggles, Matty. No one ever. You heard the Ant-Man. Did you struggle going 1 for 7 from 3? I wouldn't look at it as struggling.
Oh, my goodness. That dude does not lack confidence, man, at all.
Struggling? 1 for 7 from 3? Why would you call that struggling? Look how many points we scored.
He said he liked the looks he got, AR.
Yeah.
Just didn't make any of them.
I forgot. It's not a results-based business. All right, I'll do a little combo platter because I put Karl Anthony Towns in Party Like a Rockstar. How about we get over 4.5 3 attempts?
For Cat?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Over 4.5 3 attempts.
Okay.
And we make 2 of them.
I'm in.
And then I can probably get you to at least even money on that. I haven't done the computation on that.
Okay.
I like that. Make at least 2 threes and attempt at least 5.
I can rock with that. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only. Must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
It feels like that Matt LaFleur has pretty much admitted that a reunion with Davante Adams was on the table. Yeah, wouldn't that be wild?
That would have been nice for them.
That they pushed for that.
Because Davante's now in L.A. with Stafford and the Rams.
And they found their receiver in Matthew Golden maybe in the draft. We'll see. But he was on Up at Adams, and he said that they had conversations about bringing him back. Okay. I don't know what the conversations were or how close they got, but...
Yeah. I would have to guess maybe... Well, it's an interesting... Because if you're Davante, who do you deem the team that's closer to winning it all? The Packers or the Rams right now?
They both got eliminated by the Eagles.
Both got eliminated by the Eagles. Maybe what this came down to was he's a Cali guy with the Fresno State. Mm-hmm. Is he from Cali, though, or did he just go to Fresno? He's from Cali, so maybe that factored into this. And
Palo Alto, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you have
Palo Alto. That is correct.
Stafford and McVay, and then Cooper Kupp leaves, so there's an opportunity there and a good offense. So, yeah, I would love to ask him football-wise, like, what were the factors there for him? But maybe it was the home cooking that did it for him.
Matt LaFleur also admitted something else, that he knows where Aaron Rodgers is going to end up.
Week 8 Steelers, I know you've talked about the Aaron Rodgers stuff. Has Mike Tomlin asked you anything about Aaron? Like when you guys are doing your off-season wine tastings or get-together as coaches, has he asked you about Aaron?
No, nothing. And neither has Arthur. So Arthur Smith, their OC, I haven't heard from either of those guys in regards to him. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. I'm sure they're confident in what they're doing, and I would fully expect him to be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Fully expect they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That tells me that he assumes that he wants to play, and that if he wants to play, there's only one spot for him, and that would make sense.
I'm in on that. I think it makes all the sense in the world that they make that happen. I think you brought up a good point before we brought on Schefter earlier that right around mandatory minicamp here in a few weeks, that he'll hop on that train. They'll make it official. He can come and get his work in for that and go back to his darkness retreat or whatever the heck that's going to look like until training camp happens. There's not a lot of retirement buzz out there, and I think if that were the case, people would be getting things in order. Teams that he played for, the Packers, would be getting things in order to honor him and all that, because usually some of that stuff will leak out. I think he's keeping it hush-hush between he and the Steelers, and they have, I think, a kind of a wink-wink deal going on right now that he will be there in short order. So that's what I expect. Did you happen to see Jordan Love's first pitch this weekend? That was out there in Milwaukee.
I hope it was better than 50 cents.
It was much better than that, but he's getting bodied because as a starting quarterback in the NFL, he threw a lollipop in there. The accuracy was okay, wasn't to the left, to the right, but for an NFL quarterback, I need better than that. Can't lollipop it in
Better than C.J. Stroud's?
Why am I not remembering CJ's?
Oh, there was a video. I think he was in like a celebrity softball tournament or something in Houston.
Oh, I think that's when he left with Amber Rose.
Yeah, that was it. And there was some video that was leaking of him playing catch. And he looked like he had never even seen a round ball before.
So I've said this before on the program. You would think every one of these guys is an all-around athlete. You would think, right? You couldn't make it as a professional football player if you weren't an all-around athlete, and that's not the case with a lot of them. And I think throwing a baseball, certainly the motion is similar, but it's just not something that they're used to. The release is different.
The throwing motion looked pretty good for Jordan Love, and maybe in his mind, you're trying to avoid the viral moment, AR. So you play the safe route. You just lob it in there, but put some mustard on that thing. You're in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but then the release point is the key part of it.
But he does throwing every day of his life. I expected a little bit better from him.
Maybe he's got a little twinge, a little shoulder impingement. Doesn't want to.
Oh, Packers better hope not.
I'm going to take a look at this pitch.
Yeah, he's Derek Carr.
So you're just saying it was like a catapult. He just kind of lobbed it in there.
A little north to south.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that was a high lob.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just more the ceremonial part of it. It wasn't about the pitch. It was about that I get to go. Was he on the mound at least, like all the way up on top of the mound?
I don't know if we're doing all. Yeah, he's okay. We were doing 60 feet, 6 inches there.
You know what he probably didn't do?
What's that?
Bring a glove.
He did not bring a glove, which I'm a fan of. I don't think you need that. I think you just need reps.
How about this? If you're going to fire one in there, I like a glove.
Nah, doesn't bother me either way.
Yeah.
I don't think you need it. Big year for him, though, and his team. Big year. Got his money. That division's loaded on paper. They're a young team still, but they've been around the block a couple times, so he's got to rise up.
You know, he didn't ground ball it, and he didn't airmail him.
Yeah, it's not the worst one we've seen.
But anybody should be able to lob it, like to your point.
Right.
Like it wasn't even, like, so that doesn't mean anything. Right. And here's the other thing, and I'm siding with you on this one. You're a professional athlete who throws a ball for a living.
Correct.
So you can't get away with just the celeb or the actor that gets to throw out the first pitch.
We need a little bit more.
You're the pro athlete, and you're not a lineman, and you're not a receiver. You're a quarterback. You probably should at least make the trajectory a little more even. I'm with you on that. All right, we come back with our friend Ray Fittipaldo, and he's from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. In 2 minutes, He'll tell us where the Rodgers situation stands. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Summer is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you'll be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during the dog days of summer. You want to beat the heat and keep the AC in your home? Get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you can buy 4 windows and get 4 windows free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, and no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. So how exactly do they keep their prices affordable? It's a great question. Window Nation works directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon. So buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free, and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION, or go to their website, windownation.com.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, talks about what makes First Bank of Central Ohio different.
I would say it starts by caring. It starts by doing what you say you're going to do and following through on it. When you're talking about local, you're talking about relationships and people that matter to you. I don't care if that's personally or professionally.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Listen to this. Wouldn't this sound nice? Clearer skin, better posture, improved digestion, better sleep, and more energy. Just a few of the endless benefits clients have received with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Maddie ranked the most dynamic duo of all time, Caesar Salad and Moscow Mule. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it. Aaron Rodgers dropping some breadcrumbs, acting like he wants to play football. He knows schedules. He knows road trips. And it sounds like he's going to be a Steeler. If he isn't, maybe they have a plan B. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's who they have on the roster. Our guy, Ray Fittipaldo, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Always there when we reach out to need him. Ray, how you feeling?
I'm doing well, guys. How about you?
Pretty well. Let me ask you this. If Rodgers decides not to play and this thing falls apart, do they take a swing at Kirk Cousins or just go as is with who they have?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, all options would be on the table. But I got to tell you guys, there are a lot of people inside that building who have belief in Mason Rudolph. And, you know, I think people on the outside will be like, Mason who? But, you know, Mason Rudolph led them to 3 consecutive wins at the end of the 2023 season. That 3-game winning streak got them into the playoffs. He actually played pretty well in a relatively close loss to the Bills in that playoff game. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to the people inside that building if Mason Rudolph was the guy. But I think, you know, yes, they probably would investigate some other options, including Kirk Cousins, knowing that they had a good fallback option in Mason Rudolph if nothing else worked out.
Right. There was a little buzz out there today on social media that DK Metcalf wasn't seen at OTAs, and these are just voluntary, so nothing really I think to go crazy about unless you have something new for us. But what's going on with DK at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of veterans, Steeler veterans who weren't there today, and it's not unusual for this time of the year. I think you guys probably know there's a big push within the union to eliminate all of this stuff in the spring. The union wants the players to report in early July and do all this stuff in the lead up to training camp. So there's a lot of veterans who are staying away. Really nothing new with DK. He'll get his work in. He's a veteran. And every other Steelers veteran who wasn't here, TJ Watt, Darius Slay, all those guys are pros. They're going to get their work in, and I wouldn't read too much into it.
Give me your take on Will Howard and where you think he will be in the pecking order. And I know it's a tough question because you don't know if Rodgers is going to get signed. But let's go on the hypothetical that they go forward with Mason Rudolph and they look at this as a rebuilding year, and they don't, and because they got a really tough schedule as well. The Steelers do. They play the Bills, the Ravens, the Lions. Like they've got some big games coming up. And I think that's all in the final 6 weeks of the season as well. So if they go into kind of a pseudo rebuild, where do you think Will Howard is in that mix?
Yeah, well, first, I got to tell you guys, I think you guys probably already know this, but there are a ton of Ohio State fans here in western Pennsylvania. You know, we get that bleed over from the eastern part of Ohio there, like Steubenville and all those areas. And a lot of people, a lot of Steelers fans want Will Howard to play right away, but I think the Steelers are going to be cautious here. He's a sixth-round pick. Even if Mason Rudolph is the guy, eventually Will Howard might end up being the number 2 as a rookie, but they're not going to force feed him. They're not going to throw a sixth-round pick, into the mix as a rookie unless something really strange happens with injury. So people in that building like him. They like that he's a winner. They like his skill set. They like the fact that he can run, he's a good leader. All those intangibles are good qualities, but I don't get the sense right now that even if Aaron Rodgers isn't here, that Howard's going to have a big role on this football team as a rookie.
All right, let's stick with Buckeyes in Pittsburgh for 1,000 and talk about Jack Sawyer because, Ray, for me, the room that he's in, like if you're a rookie D lineman, that's an awesome room to start your career in, right? With T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward and Highsmith. Just talk about the seasoning that he may get in year one and how you think those guys can help Jack hit the ground running.
Yeah, I mean, what better situation to be in as a rookie than what Jack has? A lot of Big Ten guys, TJ from Wisconsin, Cam, of course, from Ohio State. I'm sure they're going to hit it off really, really well. And, that was a draft pick that the Steelers, let's face it, they didn't have a great need for an edge rusher, but they couldn't pass him up because they had such a high grade on him at that point in the fourth round. People in the Steelers building thought he was a second or a third round pick, definite day 2 pick. So they like him. As far as his role goes as a rookie, again, T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith are your starters. They love Nick Herbig as a number 3. Jack's going to get in where he fits in. He'll probably play 10 or 15 snaps a game, but as a rookie, that's not bad. He's going to be on special teams, and I think the future is bright down the road. TJ is getting older. Alex Highsmith getting older. I think eventually, if Jack works at it, he's going to blossom into a player the Steelers can count on.
Ray Fittipaldo with us from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette covering the Steelers. All right, they swapped out Pickens and Van Jefferson for Metcalf and Woods. Najee Harris gone, Caleb Johnson in. Does this offense feel better, worse, or the same to you?
The worst. I don't know what to expect. It's been so bad for how many years now? It's like 5 years where they just can't get anything going. You change the quarterbacks. That doesn't matter. You try to build through the offensive line, and that's been a slow process. I think we all knew that the Steelers wanted to build through the trenches. They want to be known as a running football team. I think that's why there's a lot of speculation that maybe Caleb Johnson is going to have a nice rookie year. But in the end, guys, this is a passing league. If the Steelers are going to be contenders, and especially if Rodgers is the quarterback, you're going to need more than DK Metcalf, and you're going to need more than 33-year-old Robert Woods and, an unknown guy like Roman Wilson who missed his entire season. So, yes, the Steelers want to play one way. They want to ground and pound you, but they're going to need something from that receiving core if they're going to get to where they want to get.
Let's talk about the secondary, Ray, because you've got, some new names back there. A veteran in Darius Slay comes over. We all know, as AFC North fans, how awesome Minkah Fitzpatrick is, but the addition of Darius Slay and Juan Thornhill and some of these vets that have been around for a while and what you think they can do inside that defense this season.
Yeah, they got to get better. Minkah has 1 interception in the last 2 years. And it's not his fault. Offensive coordinators are smart. They don't throw his way. But, the Steelers coaches have to find ways to get him more involved, maybe you move him around a little bit. You know, they got to do the same with T.J. Watt. You know, T.J. Watt was schemed out of games in December and January last year. He was a non-factor. So maybe the Steelers coaches have to do some different things, but you know, they like Joey Porter. They're going to get by with Slay for one more year. So, yeah, their secondary is okay. They didn't put a lot of resources into it in the draft. I think that time is coming. Probably next year, the year after, they're going to have to get younger at safety and eventually find another corner to play opposite of Joey Porter.
All right, Ray, we'll leave you with this one. Is there any kind of a timeline for you that says Rodgers will not be a Steeler? Or is that just waiting for the season? Or do you have something in your mind that says if he's not signed by this day, they'll probably go forward without him?
July 24th. That's when they report to Latrobe, St. Vincent's College, for training camp. I know a lot of people are pointing towards minicamp. I think it might happen at minicamp, but he's a four-time NFL MVP. He's a 20-year vet. I think he can get together with his receivers in late June, early July, work out that chemistry. So, yeah, I think ideally, guys, he gets here in a couple of weeks and takes part in minicamp, but don't be surprised if this drama goes on even longer and this drags into July.
Beautiful. More for us to talk about. Thanks a lot, Ray. Appreciate your time, bud. Be well.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See you.
Yep. Ray Fittipaldo, one of the best on the beat over there in the Steel City. He was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We will come back with Tell the Truth. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
We've discovered the perfect morning ritual, the 2 for $6 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. Every sandwich is made to order with a freshly cracked egg and melty cheese, just the way breakfast should be. Choose between savory sausage or hickory smoked bacon, served on a toasted English muffin or flaky biscuit. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches, just $6. Perfect. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, single item at regular menu price. Modifications and tax extra. Exclusions and additional terms apply.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, look, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
You know what I love the most about your store?
What's that, common man?
The way you treat people. You get to know your customers. That's why they keep coming back. No sleazeballs around. Just good, clean boys and girls selling jewelry.
Stop in and see the difference for yourself.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. It's where Columbus gets engaged. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Introducing Ice Cream Quakes from UDF. Big chunks of your favorite candies and cookies blended with real hand-dipped UDF ice cream. We'll say that again. Real hand-dipped UDF ice cream. Pick your flavor, pick your mix-ins, or try one of our featured recipes. And get an ice cream quake made the way you want. Real creamy, real chunky, real. Ice Cream Quakes, new from United Dairy Farmers.
Dealin' Days are back at Lindsay Honda. Lock in your deal in May. Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas. Simply pick your new 2025 Honda and enjoy 0% for up to 60 months. Yes, 0% for up to 60 months on all new 2025 Hondas, including HRV, Pilot, and Ridgeline.
Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Lindsay's got it, and you're gonna save.
See you, Lindsay Honda, during Dealin' Days.
See lindsayhonda.com for details. Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the dopes at The Fan.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Bets are us when dreams don't get in. Bets are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bets are us when dreams don't get in. Bets are us.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Now buy 4 windows, get 4 free, plus a free entry door with a house of windows. Visit windownation.com.
All right, big fella, take us home.
All righty, they were talking on T-Bone and Tyvis this morning about the Murphs. I don't know if you've heard of the Murph Challenge that they do on Memorial Day. Tyvis was telling T-Bone about it. T-Bone didn't know about it.
Murph's Challenge. I'm asleep. I don't know what this is.
It's like a 1 mile run into a bunch of push-ups and blah, blah, blah. It's
like a poor man's Navy SEAL.
MURPH. So it stands for a bunch of different things you got to do.
Sounds awful.
To clear the day. It does. I mean, I haven't done it, just to be clear.
Okay.
But people who are way more badass than me have done it. Bet you we have listeners who did it yesterday to participate.
Good for them.
You're just a semi-badass.
Yeah.
You're not a full-fledged.
So, thus birthed today's Caster Connection fan poll. If your life depended on it, could you do a pull-up right now?
Oh, yeah.
Forward or this way?
We can get it done.
Palms facing you.
Just one
Palms
pull-up?
facing me? That'd be the easier one.
I imagine so.
The chin-up, I think, would be harder.
Getting one done?
Yeah.
I think everybody...
Hang from a dead hang.
Dead hang.
Yeah. That's the difference. The dead hang.
Yeah, not like you jump up into it.
Yeah.
You jump, hang for about 3 seconds, and then pull yourself up. Yeah, I think I'm seeing another day, AR.
The dead hang is the tricky part.
You got that.
Anybody can go in already at 90 degrees and get there. I would hope.
Yeah, you got that in you. We're all making it. I think everybody at the station's making it. Just one?
Trying to think.
Everybody at the station?
Yeah, you don't think?
No, not every. I wouldn't think everybody at the station could do it.
All the on-air hosts, I think, are making it. One pull-up.
I don't know.
Okay.
Where would you stand on push-ups?
How many
What number would we get to here where people be like,
push-ups are hard because it's not universal technique.
Correct.
That's right.
Some guys are going to have their hands in closer than others. Some guys are going to...
Wider is harder.
Yeah, some guys are going to go 90 degrees. Some are going to go chest to the ground.
What would be your cutoff? What would be the proper, for a non-professional here at the station, how would you judge it that is a legit push-up?
I think 90 degrees with your arms is fine. I don't think your chest has to hit the ground, but you can if you want to. Like, I could if I needed to, but if I'm just revving it out, this flag thing that's going on.
If we as a station, all the hosts can't get one pull-up in, we got work to do. We got work to do. We got to get in the lab, fellas. That's the case.
Bodie, I will ship you this audio. All right. Hey, we had a news story that's been developing down in Louisiana, if you perhaps know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you view it, 3 more of the fugitives in the New Orleans police escape chase have been caught. So we now only have 2 left. Tell the truth. Are you rooting for these fugitives to stay free, or do you want them locked up? Keep in mind,
rooting for them to stay free? What is wrong with you? Aren't they like murderers and people?
I don't know what they're inside for. I really don't.
It could be insider trading. I don't know.
For them to stay free. These aren't birds that have been locked in a cage, and I'm rooting for them because their feathers are too bright to be locked away.
I'd be lying, AR, if I said I'm not enjoying the entertainment. But the end result has to be them going back.
Listen, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
That's right,
You guys are unreal.
8 of them are back locked up.
Convicts.
And you know what?
And you might be...
One of their grandmothers got locked up too. Well, I don't know if she's locked up yet, but she got arrested, I think, because she got busted sending money to one of the refugees.
That whole locked up lovers or whatever they're doing. Yeah, or whatever they're doing. I could understand.
I'm not familiar.
Everyone's searching for a
love after lockup, like some men and women.
They've ridden to each other in jail, and then
you come out and you're like, hey, are we going to figure this thing out? And what are we doing here? One of the seasons that I think's on right now is some people in Cincinnati on that thing. So, Ohio getting rep, baby.
They crafted a question.
You rooting for him?
I can't even believe that was a thought. I thought he might say, hey, what do you guys think the over-under is on when they get recaptured? You know, a week or 10 days, or will they last a month?
These guys have been out for over a week now, right, TLC?
That's what I thought.
It's been going.
That's where I thought he was going. Do you guys think they'll ever be caught or something like that?
Right.
But he dropped you find yourselves maybe rooting for them.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious.
That's a good one. John McEnroe, that's a drop that I do know.
That's awesome.
Right. Cubs baseball. Wow.
All right. What was your first custom ringtone?
Oh, wow.
Good one.
Whoa. Oh, I think I know what mine was. I had a...
what was yours?
I had the Law and Order theme going for a little bit.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Not mad
I had that going for a while.
I'm not mad at it. How much money has that guy made making that show? What's his name? Pops up
Chase?
Something Wolf at the end of every episode.
Wolf.
The creator of, am I making that up? Of Law and Order.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's something Wolf, isn't it? How much money is that
I think we looked that up once.
His net worth? Is it Dick Wolf?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, it's Dick Wolf. Okay.
Let me get a net worth on him.
Amazing.
I don't know why they would know. How would they know how much money he has? They say he's got a net worth of $1 billion.
That makes sense.
1.2.
That wouldn't surprise me. My first ringtone, I believe, was Lollipop by Lil Wayne.
I sure it wasn't Flavor Flav.
No, it wasn't Flavor Flav. It was Lollipop by Lil Wayne, because that was a hit back in the day. So that was it.
Take us to the candy shop.
May have been that, too. I think I had that in the rotation as well.
Would you ever consider playing for the Saints?
No.
Just cracked her over the head.
No. Next question.
And TLC's like, get some journalistic ethics. Right? Can't you ask the question a little differently?
Oh, man.
Will Aaron Rodgers ever play? You're talking to Aaron Rodgers. Jeez. All right. Are there any regional accents that you particularly like or detest?
Regional.
In America.
I detest Brian Kelly's fake accent that he had in his Baton Rouge speech, I believe, at a basketball game.
I don't want to live in Louisiana.
Brian, what were you trying to do? That didn't it didn't make any sense. Like, Brian, we've heard you talk in the Midwest for years now.
And I haven't even won all my games yet. Who says that?
So I'm going to go with that one.
Even if he said that in a regular accent, who says that?
That one irked me.
Listen, I have a very thick Midwestern accent. I know that. I think Chicago is very Cleveland-like. I think sometimes when I meet people from Cleveland, I ask if they're from Chicago. I think they're somewhat similar. But the Chicago one gets a little too, I understand, it gets a little nauseating at times.
Okay.
But when I say Wisconsin, I usually kind of slow roll it. instead of saying Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I wish I had a Boston accent.
Do you really?
I will say this.
No, that's the worst one.
That may be the worst.
I say this. I'll talk.
Worse than New York?
You guys can't find me a black dude that has a Boston accent. You can't find me one.
Oh, so you want to be the first?
Yes. I don't. It's the weirdest thing to me. Like, I've never heard a black dude, and I know they exist, that has a Boston accent. I've never seen it.
They work so hard to avoid having one.
You're thinking about it.
Did you guys?
I never put that together.
See? Think about it. You've never heard it. Ever.
Well, I don't know if I'm listening for it, but
Boston.
Wow.
Boston.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think I've ever heard that in my life.
What are you, an intern?
I don't know, Adam
Exactly.
King. Here's what you need to know if you're a podcast listener, wherever you get your podcast. If you missed anything, to catch up, all you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice, everything we do. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Dave Biddle in the house today with Timmy, so don't move. We'll be out of studio tomorrow, but we'll still be with you at high noon, live from Jack's place. Can't wait.
I'm going right from here, and I'm going to sleep at the halfway house.
I don't blame you.
Just to make sure I'm there on time.
Good living.
All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
It always seems to happen at the worst time. You're finally in bed after a long, hard day, and then you hear it. You sit up, heart sinking. Is that coming from the ceiling? All of a sudden, it's a middle of the night flashlight hunt to find the leak. But don't worry, Newman Roofing has you covered, literally. With more than 3 decades in the business, we've seen just about everything a storm can throw at a roof. Our teams know how to spot the problem, explain your options, and fix it right the first time, with craftsmanship and care you can feel good about. We're not just here for a quick patch job, and we never will be. We're here to make sure your home stays protected season after season. So when it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, choose the company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Listen to this. Wouldn't this sound nice? Clearer skin, better posture, improved digestion, better sleep, and more energy. Just a few of the endless benefits clients have received with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLS-ConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts today at Low T Center for a free consultation and free test. The treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurance is accepted. And you'll get the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. The offer is limited, so book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.